All right, let me just give it a couple more minutes and then we'll be good to go. All right, so appreciate you guys being here. It is obviously very late at night. It is 3 a.m. on the East Coast, 1 a.m. where I am in Arizona. So what happened earlier tonight on stream was we hit the stretch goal of $300, which is awesome. You guys rock. We hit the stretch goal, $300. And because we hit that stretch goal, we actually smashed that goal. Because of that, I am going to be editing a live episode of Dumb Decisions on the air for all you guys. How's it going, Detroit? Good morning, everyone. So, this is me editing a video that will come out. Dumb decision. If you didn't see the Chiefs game, Andy Reid did something really, really stupid. And we will edit the video on that right now. But you can go a few different ways with this. And you know, a few different ways. What I do sometimes is do the script first and then do the editing. Sometimes I'll do the editing, then that. I'm gonna do the editing first. So what I'm gonna do with this is, you've never seen this, so let me move my screen over. Never good morning, California. Once again, editing Dumb Decision. There you go. So you can see what I'm working with here. So what I'm gonna do to start, overnight hours, maybe. Yep. Yeah, these edit suits are chill. They're very chill. So I got the footage of the game, and I pretty much know how the script, I sort of know how this is going to go. But I know I definitely need footage of Andy Reid. A lot of footage of Andy Reid. I know that'll be the primary footage here. So for the next, 20 minutes, I'm just going to be watching the game to some extent and just getting all the shots I can of Andy Reid. And then I splice them up accordingly. It shouldn't be too bad, because obviously Sunday football, you know you're going to get some good shots. With the marquee games, you know there's going to be a lot of shots of the coaches. How long it take to download the game? Oh, 2 minutes. Please, video for the 4th and 1. The 4th and 1, and then we're going to talk about as well the other one. It's basically going to be both. Okay, while we do that, I always like to listen to music beforehand. So let's see. Let's go. It's Christmas time. Go with the classic KG Christmas album. This should be a good hour. This should be enough to edit the video to at least get the clips and everything. So, do some Kenny G to start. It doesn't take long. I have an Ethernet cable, so it doesn't take too long. Alright, so again, I just need all the clips of Reid. I get everything in the chat as best I can. Obviously, I crop this out, so let me actually hang on. Hang on. I'm trying to see if you can see less. Donation. Nope, not that. Nope, not that. Hang on. Not that. Give me a second here, guys. There we go. So you can see more of what I'm doing. Obviously it looks a little bit awkward, but that's fine. All right, I'm gonna crop the score out. I just move these clips around. Once I get them all, I move them around. Okay, I'm just going for Reid clips to start. And we'll do the Texans in the second half as well. Still trying to process that play. Like, it is not sunk in that the Chiefs dynasty, at the very least, is put on pause because of that. Like, it still is not sunk in. It's for numb directions, yes. This is for numb directions. Yeah, this is for the Andy Reid decision on 4th down. I mean, the fact that Dynasty ends like this is just nuts to me. Like, this is the day they fell. It's like, Okay, we're in the playoffs at this point. The Jaguars are. Like, we're in. But all the rich shots with the final few minutes were like dead inside. Yeah. Yeah, there were a lot of those, which is going to help. That's going to help a lot. Just, it doesn't feel real. Like, the Jags are in the playoffs at this point. Because the Colts are not winning. At this point, Chiefs have 6, Jags have 9, and the tiebreaker on them. The Colts lost their quarterback. And they have the hardest schedule in football the final 4 weeks. So, they're done. We're in, but the Texans are now right on our backs. After just whatever the heck the Chiefs were doing. It's where the Chiefs dynasty started against... Who used... I mean, this one... Yeah, no, I use it. It's easy to use. It's free. The Chiefs dynasty started against the Texans, you could argue, with the comeback in the 21-0 game. And now it's over. After a loss to the Texans. That might be how I start it, too. Shoots that guy as the shot. For what I'm listening to, just some Kenny G Christmas music. Since we're only 2.5 weeks away. Holy cow. Let's move this over. There's going to be a lot of read shots. I know that. Which will make my life easy. My Chiefs cannot win the West at this point. How's it going, RFK? Appreciate you tuning in, as always. Any chance Sigrid retires? There's a slim chance, but I don't think it's going to happen. But I think he'll retire at some point due to health-related reasons, but not now. He would announce it beforehand, I think. I don't think he's retiring. Do you need some shopping? Yep. I still have a bit more shopping to do. I'm going to take care of that tomorrow and Tuesday, I think. Cheers to 6 and 7. Yes, they are. The meme is returned. The one time I'm okay with the meme. If you told me Chiefs and Dolphins have the same record at this point, I would not have believed you. Like, at all. It's Arizona, 1 o'clock. Short case Renetting? No, everything with a mouse. I mean, not everything. Like, I do have, like Command B, Command, like, C, Command V, and all that, but... Like, I've got the keyboard for, like the shortcuts, but for the most part... Like, this, what I'm doing in terms of, like, scrolling the footage, this is all with the mouse. But here, click, and then I'll use the, like, Command B and short keys and whatnot. Yeah, Matt Nagy, he needs to go. There's nothing deep enough. They can't get the chunk plays. A couple 6, 7, 8. It's 12 here. Yeah, on the West Coast, it's 12. It's crazy, Sufu. It is crazy. Yeah, Nagy destroy the offense. The U-share record. It's crazy. Never would have thought that at the start of the season. At this stage, there's even the same record? No one would have thought that. You have to be out of your mind to think that. I know, it's funny. You have 3 a.m. here? Oh, man. Well, also, hang on. Let me spin the karaoke wheel as well. I forgot to do that. $25 gets you the song that it lands on for karaoke. Hang on. Jay came off for going through footage. J. Oh, wow. Yeah. K. I don't know what K does. Okay, K pauses. And L. Okay, so J is rewind. L is fast forward. Oh, you can really faster. Okay, yeah. That'll help for like this is like 3 hours of footage, so I'll have to go mouse on this one. But yeah, that's... I did not know that. That's going to help. Yeah. I did not know that. I was up late. Yep. And same for the season. The Panthers are better record than the Colts. Lions to be third. Jags were good, and Daniel Jones like a franchise quarterback. Panthers better than the Chiefs. Nothing makes sense. Move out west, be verified by 9 o'clock? Yes. It's the best thing that ever happened to me. Moving out west, best thing that ever happened to me. I love it out here. Well, karaoke wheel. Aquaver Vegas. Vegas takes the field goal with no time left. The spread was 7.5, and the field goal cut down to 7. Truth Hurts is a song that's half off, so $25 gets the Truth Hurts at karaoke. Yeah, the outcome of Vegas is that was a 10-point game. The Broncos got called for defensive delay of game, which stopped the clock. It would have been a 10-point win for the Broncos without it. Instead, the Raiders get one final play. They kick a field goal, make it a 7-point game. How's it going, Banjo? Good evening, more. What do you say in the wee hours? Just overnight. This is the overnight shift for me. The years of editing with the mouse, and then I started doing keyboard on Good Lord, so much easier, more accurate with the keys. Nice. I think for some stuff, it's going to come in handy. For stuff like this, probably not, but I think in terms of like rewatching footage, it will definitely help. McCoy's playing her injured. I think Baker, definitely. Baker does not look the same. Someone's up with Baker. Has that didn't matter for the last 4 weeks? Today mattered, yep. I mean, my thing with Notre Dame, that never made any sense to me. If you were going to keep Notre Dame out of the playoff, fine. If you're going to be like, here's the thing with Notre Dame. Want to sort out how everybody watch because they want to pay for an A program? You know, I don't pay for any program. Riders surgery after Bosa nailed them? I don't know. I forget. You know, that it wasn't just you. No, the audio messed up for like 10 minutes in red zone. Yeah, it was all over. It was a mess. So I think with Notre Dame, you want to keep him out? No problem. Keep him out. Keep him out. Notre Dame had 2 losses. Now, granted, they won 10 straight, but they played 2 teams that are currently in the top 15. Lost both those games. Their schedule after those 2 games was not that good. So if you want to keep him out, keep him out. The problem is that you need to decide that back in week 3. Not today. Or it's the rug pull. Exactly. If there were no prior rankings, there would not be as much of an outcry. Just watching someone edit, yeah, that's... I mean, watching is like a good way of doing it, but like, still, like, that's insane. Dolphins actually on the Panthers supposed to... Their next 4 games are kind of tough. The Dolphins need to run the table, have any shot. And they have to play the Steelers on the road, the Bengals, the Bucks, and the Patriots. It's going to be tough. Why is Arizona cheaper than California? I'm not sure entirely. I think part of it's politics. Not as many big cities out here. Alright, this will be the first shot. But it was basically... Notre Dame was in the top 10 the entire season of the weekly rankings. If Notre Dame was always outside... If they were always ranked like 13th or 14th and always behind... Or there was just one ranking... Yeah. Then 100%. I'm okay with it. Problem is what they did. We're in. Week 10, we're in. Week 11, we're in. Week 12, we're in. No state attacks. I know that's Florida. I don't know about Arizona. Week 13, we're in. Week 14, we're in. Week 15, oh, sorry, you're out. Nothing changed. If anything, your resume got better. Because Boise State won the Mountain West. You got that win. If anything, your resume improved. You blew out an opponent, won by 7. You scored 70 on them. And it's just... That was the issue. The inconsistency is just... It sucks. So I don't hate the idea of Notre Dame being out. I don't hate the idea of saying, look, Bama's going to get punished for the 13th game. Right, Texas, I say Texas, yeah. Bama's going to get punished for 13th game. We're not going to punish teams for playing a 13th game when they won that right, and a lot of teams only play 12. And then it comes down to Miami Notre Dame head-to-head, and Miami won that matchup. So it's fair to put them in. But it's the way they did it that's throwing me off. This does not seem fair. Broncos dumping Russell on the deck happens. Somebody in a playoff team at warp people's perception thinking so you dump a quarterback who's costly. Yep. It helps to have a coach who's like a borderline Hall of Famer. Like that also helps. It also helps when your defense is just that good. Like, their offense is not doing anything special. It's almost like these dynasties warp people's perceptions of thinking, oh, like, you can just, I mean, Super Bowl or bust every single season. Like, you know, it's hard to get to the Super Bowl. Like, Brady warped a lot of people's perception. Like, oh, this guy's a failure because he never made a Super Bowl or only made one. It's like, you know how hard it is to make one? Like, the guy only won one ring. Like, they wasted his career. They only won one ring. And it's like, yeah, it was Florida, yeah. Like, the Saints wasted Drew Brees' career because they only won one ring. It's like, do you know how hard it is to win one ring? Calvin Sherman's don't count. If Bama's playing, it counts to BYU is. I know BYU is from the playoff going into the week of Miami. Jump BYU and Notre Dame without even playing. Yeah. I think with BYU, I can justify that a little bit. I think the thing with that is that Bama beat Georgia earlier in the season, and they have some quality wins. It worked out for me. I'm not McTailgate. Yeah, in a weird way, it might have. So I could see that with Bama. Like, look, they played Georgia already at their place. They won, so we know they can do it. BYU, they only had one game against a top 15 team, and they got clobbered against Texas Tech, and they did nothing to show that they could hang with them. Yeah, Leo Norris is a world champion. Yes, he is. Are making more pennies so there's a shortage, and they'll make enough to stop the shortage? I don't know if they're going to ever resume pennies. I don't know. I know they stopped them. I don't know if they'll ever resume. I mean, it costs more to make than what they're worth. No one carries them around anymore. I'm fine with the penny being gone. Tim is straight fan because they want the pack to win because it feels easiest for Lions to bubble out the Bears. Yes. Oh, no, I get that. Like Texans Colts last week, I was rooting for the Colts, and I hated doing that, but I was rooting for the Colts. People keep saying Browns could easily dump Watson because Russ would sell quickly. Yeah, the contract's tomorrow is different. Yeah, the $250 million guaranteed. Now, Bucker was not good and not. Yeah, I think Bucker is. I think this might be his last year with the Chiefs. So why does the committee decide in week 2? So here's why, or week 3, really game 2, week 3, because I had a bye in between. Because here's why. We knew Notre Dame's schedule was a cakewalk after that. After the A&M game, we knew their schedule was a cakewalk. That their toughest team was going to be USC at home. If you look at Notre Dame's schedule, Boise's not what they were, obviously. They won the Mountain West, but we knew they weren't what they were, and that's at home. Arkansas, we knew they weren't going to be good going into the season. Purdue's always a bottom feeder. NC State, pretty meh. USC's their best opponent at home. Service Academy, they always beat up on those. Boston College, we knew they're pretty bad. Pitt, not a lot of expectations going into the season on them. Syracuse, Stanford, we knew they were going to be bad this year. So we knew after these 2 games, they were still alive. Go Texans. How about that win? Holy cow. End of the Chiefs dynasty, man. Yeah, the Jackson Brown helmet. Yep, New Mexico in the Rape Bowl. Yes, they are. That should be interesting. Heck of a season. I'm glad we're able to keep back. So this is why I said that with Notre Dame. We knew their schedule was a cakewalk after this game. After the A&M game, we knew every good team they play the rest of the way is at home. And they have like 2 good teams. After that, they're like barely on the road. And when they're on the road, they're against some of the worst teams in FBS on paper. So we knew they had a cakewalk of a schedule. So you had to fathom the scenario because they were going to be favored in every game. We knew they were going to be favored in every game. You had to think of a scenario where, look, if they run the table, are they a playoff team or not? They started 0-2. They played the only 2 great teams on their schedule. They lost both of them. It was close, but they lost both of them. We have to decide right now, if they run the table, are they a playoff team? And they look good while doing it. Should they be in the playoff? And for the entire season, the committee said, yes, you are a playoff team. And then at the very end, they said no. That was the issue. Raymond Thomas with 2-12-6-7. Who would have saw that coming? You're close to me to go somewhere else. Yeah, New Mexico, not obviously far from here. Obviously, it's a border. That's going to be cool seeing them here. It's going to be cool. I'm excited for that. But that's why I said that. Because it'd be a little bit different if they had like tough games down the road. But we had to decide when they started 0-2, should they be in if they run the table? Because they're going to be favored in every game. So this was entirely foreseeable. What do you mean they're a playoff team? Are they a playoff team? You can't just start really trying to in September, have to let play on. So what I mean by that is this. If they run the table, y'all good things my son. Yep. Long time for a dynasty. Yep. Don't cry because they were strong because it happened. Remember the committee overranked them, said everyone until they played USC was off. Yep. That's what I mean, is that they were favored in every game after the A&M game. And we knew their schedule was not tough. So you had to decide, okay, if they run the table, should they be in? Mr. Green Bay, Chicago and Sunday football team being out with the kid today? Oh, man. Anything good? Green Bay, Chicago was a great game. That was a great game. Sunday football, you missed the end of the Chiefs dynasty. It was a nutty game with one of the weirdest dumb decisions of the season. Jags are 13-4. Would that be enough to get the 1? It might be. It'll be close. Because Broncos and Pats have 11. So, be close. But saying, yes, exactly. Exactly, Joel. Exactly. Basically, they played. We knew that after the A&M game, their schedule was a cakewalk. And they'd be favored in every game. So, it was not out of the realm of possibility that they would run the table. That's what it came down to. He had nice with the Colts for last time. That same. Yeah. No, we're going to be there next year. Just give me half capacity. Next year, we'll tell us if the Commanders are fluke or not. Daniel says to stay healthy. I'm not surprised Mr. Pleb, so definitely better than JMU or Tulane. Yeah, but obviously with JMU Tulane, they're going to get auto bins. Yep, there you go. Yeah. That's what I mean by that. Yeah. Maybe I didn't explain it the best, but that's what I mean by that. Is that they said, we're not going to punish you for the 2 losses, and then they decide at the very end, we are going to punish you. Just there was no consistency. We need to decide right away whether they punish you or not. Yeah, I just don't know if they can stay healthy. But yeah, we're in Jacksonville next year. 27, we go to Orlando. They already played 2 good teams and lost both. Beat a bunch of easier teams and didn't prove they could be good teams. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, the 2 games were by 4 points. Miami came down to the final drive, and A&M, it came down to some poor clock management at the end and a crazy touchdown pass by Reed. So, it's not like it got blown out. Like, BYU played 2. Oh, quarterback for me, Riley Leonard. Riley Leonard came in. He was not that good. Not as well as I thought he'd be, but he was not that good. Wisconsin's my favorite college football team, New Mexico being Sagan, so the Badger family will be very delighted if Lowe's in Minnesota. I get that. I get that. Like, at least Notre Dame was, like, awfully competitive in those games. It's not like they got blown out. But they did lose both those games, yeah. Literally, the whole account is PAT and so T&M. Yeah, exactly. Or, look, if Freeman calls timeout, Freeman, there was no reason not to call timeout on that 4th down. With 45 seconds left, there was no reason not to call timeout. It's a no-lose situation. If you get the stop, game's over. It was like the Packers-Panthers game in 99. You call the timeout, you get the stop, you win the game. If you don't get the stop, you get the ball back with plenty of time. He does that. I mean, Notre Dame might win that game. Since we go back to Joe Flacco quarterback. Burrow looked good today, minus the 4th quarter. 4th quarter was not good. But you know what's crazy about this play, by the way? You know what's crazy about this play? This is the greatest missed tackle in NFL history. Unironically, this is the greatest missed tackle in the history of the NFL. So here's the thing. 3rd and 10. Right here. Al Shire misses. Al Shire misses the tackle here. If he tackles him at the 25-yard line, I'll go Flacco sit because of injury. It looks healthy now. I also watched the next point. Yeah, that's the other thing, too. If Al Shire makes a tackle here, It's 4th and 7. They're punting the ball. They're not going for it on 4th and 7. So the live was like, okay, yep. Or is it warmer or colder than usual this time of year, do you think? Bit warmer. Bit warmer. Not too much, but a bit warmer. It's actually if it's nasty. Yeah, it's why I don't want to play them. They scare me the most of any team in the AFC right now. I'm terrified of the Texans. Alshire makes this tackle. 4th and 7, they punt the ball away. Instead, he misses. Mahomes gets down. That's 4th and 1, and then everything else happens. Yeah, NFL nominee, yep, for Man of the Year. Literally, Alshire makes this tackle. Hang on, I'm going to tweet that out. Hang on. It's insane. It's definitely 3 weeks pretending the Bengals and Cowboys could play in February, and then reality smacked them. Yep. Gotta love it. I mean, it's crazy. That's the real reason he's nominated for Man of the Year. He really does God's work on the field. Yep. I mean, this missed tackle ended the dynasty. That is insane. I mean, I guess with NBA and MLB rights, NBC is going to have some sort of sports on Sunday night for the foreseeable future. Yep. It's a pretty good assumption. Take see if it's scary good. I don't want that remention. Oh, I don't blame you. They're always Allen's bogey team. They've always been Josh Allen's bogey team. Like, Alshire, by whiffing that tackle, man. What winter's like back in Albuquerque? It's not a storm, it gets below freezing overnight. You know, New Mexico gets deceptively cold. It gets deceptively cold over there, from what I can tell. Because I know people that go to New Mexico often for either, like, work or, like, lawyer stuff or festivals, like Bloom Festival. How to fix the Chiefs? Fire Nagy, for the wide receivers coach. You need an outside threat. You need a big body, deep ball threat. Somebody that'll take you over the top. They don't have that deep threat right now. Worthy's too much of a tweener to do that. And no one else can create any separation whatsoever. I think you might have found your future right tackle today, though. After Morris went down, you might have found a gem. Cooperstown Dream Park lawsuit, they have no case. They have no case in that one. Right, Chiefs got no running. Yes, so you need a running back. Definitely need a running back. Yeah, over 8 teams have 50% chance of making it. Yeah, it's weird like that. Saw the meme? Nice. But that'd be the main thing I do, because the offense is broken. A lot of Texans love coming up to New Mexico on the winter ski. I think I'll ski in there too. You'd be surprised how much skiing they have in the Southwest between Flagstaff and that. Yeah. Yeah, the Cooperstown Dreams Park lawsuit. They have to it's clearly fair use what they did. Clearly fair use. I spoke with BDE on it. I gave him some recommendations for lawyers in New York that could help him out with that. We'll see where the case goes, but it's clearly fair use. They transform the content. It does not impact them in any way whatsoever in terms of market value. It changes the material. It's textbook fair use. They're on this MVS. Yep. Rasheed Rice finally knows what it's like to have someone hit him at full speed and flee the scene. That was a clean hit too. Petrie delivered the boom on that one. That was an impressive hit. You know, anytime you see more than 7 teams at 50%, it's like, something's odd on that. When I get the math behind it, you just need to add up to 700%, but It's like, oh, I don't know. Savannah Towers, a big ski town somewhere. Yep. I've never heard of Towers before. I would say no Santa Fe. I've never heard of that one, though. Yeah, Future Wreck Rice. Yeah. It was fun to watch. Wish nothing but the worst for him. That was fun to watch. All right, we're almost done getting the read clips now. We do have a fair amount of clips, which is going to be good. Rest oil for like a second over the head. Yep. I took out. Does it help they took in everything on the channel from that time, regardless of whether or not it's relevant to the lawsuit? Podcast? Wait. That just would be a lawyer thing, like a CYA kind of thing. But if you're talking about the actual video, that got taken down because of a... There was a... That's because they struck it down. Cooperstown struck it down. How the game is their property, need permission to talk even about them while they're happening. Yeah, so when they run that, it's not enforceable. They can't enforce it, and they don't want to enforce it. So basically, any account of the game, any account of the game means this, okay? You're at the water cooler on Monday at work. Hey, did you see that game last night? Yeah, I can't believe it. I can't believe the Texans won. Yeah, crazy game. That's not allowed. You're not allowed to do that. That's a description or account of the game. Obviously, that's not enforceable. It doesn't impact the market value. Also, it's not a substitute for anything. And also, if no one's talking about the game, then you don't have a product at that point. So that's just an all-encompassing thing that never gets enforced. Oh, there's a second channel called Podcast that exists for every single video regardless of relevance list. Ooh. Yeah, that might have been just like lawyer advice on that one. That might have just been like, let's not give them anything that could be used in an impending lawsuit. Yeah, just a big threat. Yeah, pretty much. Just a CYA kind of thing. It's like how you put stuff in contracts that you know is never going to be enforced and whatnot. The description of the game park got me confused as a kid. Will the NFL get mad at me and my friend at lunch for talking about the Bears next day? Technically, yes. But of course, they know if you did that, you don't have a product at that point. Also, means fans aren't allowed to talk about the game that they're literally at. Right now, thanks. Word of mouth, please. Yep. That sounds pretty, Ryan. That sounds like a pretty drive. Like, can you imagine that? Like, your question, a non-sports fan can ask to a sports fan anytime. Yep, pretty much. Like, can you imagine if I said, like I don't want anyone doing any descriptions of my videos? Now, obviously, like, you can't repost my videos. Obviously, if you're ripping my videos and you're posting them online, like the entire thing on your channel, obviously we're gonna have problems. But if someone's like, hey, like, did you see this video that JG9 put out about this particular play from NFL history? Of course. Like, oh no, I haven't seen it. What's it about? Yeah, it's about this play from like 1987. You should see it. It's a good video. Involved, like based on written description or account of it, that's not allowed. Be like, wait, what? I'd be like, no. God, no. That would be terrible. What's it supposed to cover? It's supposed to cover, so, any footage of the game, like, you can't, like, I can't take the Texans-Chiefs game and upload it onto my YouTube channel. I can't take the entire game and upload it on my channel. In terms of giving stats, like, a stats can be protected. It's sort of, I can't make a website that tracks NFL stats and whatnot in real time. That takes away from the NFL's website. Can you live for another? Nope. So that's sort of what it is. Yeah, it wouldn't be worth, the juice would not be worth the squeeze. They have to show that it damages their market value, and obviously it doesn't damage any market value whatsoever. It only helps it. And obviously the lawyers, there'd be so many lawyers, it wouldn't be worth it. So, especially what that is. Yeah, but it basically takes into account you can't upload video of the game. You can't use the NFL's data in a way that's not permissible. But obviously they want you to talk about the game. Because otherwise every single sports radio show will go out of business. Like anytime you have like Monday morning calling or like post-game show where listeners call in, and that wouldn't be allowed. It's like, yeah, I don't think we want to do that. Just a hunch. All right, so now I have to slow everything down to about 30%. Yeah, I'm not going to use all this footage, but better to have more than last night. Split it up. Just making sure everything is less than about 8 seconds. Yeah, no, we're still rocking. We're still rocking and rolling. We hit the stretch goal. So I was like, you know what? We're going to do it. I don't know when I made this a stretch goal, or if we hit 300. Might have to raise it to 350. So you guys have been crushing it lately. Can AI be accused of violating it? You know, that's actually, you laugh. That's actually a good question. That actually, I don't know. I honestly don't know. Because AI, I know like Disney is suing AI systems for using their characters like this to get modeled after, like artwork. If there's a lot of artwork that's inspired by Disney artwork, that's AI. And it's like, wait a second. We never give you permission to use our intellectual property. Yeah, I'm not sure. But that'll be the next frontier. I will say this much. We don't know a lot about AI law just yet, but that will be a fascinating thing that will eventually be in every law school, will be a part of the bar. I mean, that's the next frontier, is AI law. There's going to be a lot of discussion about that, and understandably so. But I don't know on that one. I actually don't know if they can be sued for that. Because I know like a lot of these platforms are getting sued for using intellectual property and basing it off stuff. Oh, wow, Ryan. Wow. Yasuo Ghibli, yeah. Most fierce about AI use of their content, especially one that co-founders despise the AR. Oh, yeah. Was it one of the sticking points for last hacker strike? Yes. Was AI, yes. It's only going to get more contentious over the years. You know, the other thing too now is dubs. It's gonna be a lot easier. It's a lot easier to dub stuff now with AI. I think Amazon just put out an anime and they use the English dubs and the dubs were they got the rights to some anime from Japan, but they didn't hire any English voice actors. They hired no English voice actors. They use AI dubbing, and there's a lot of uproar about that. I don't know what the anime is, but I saw it a couple of days ago pop on my feed. What if we AI lawyers, like lawyers are just AI bots? I can't ever see that happening. Because, I mean, like, right now they make up cases. I mean, there's some that did try to use AI lawyers. But the problem is that right now, like, we're seeing them make up cases. They can't... The problem with AI is that it doesn't appeal to emotions. And part of being a good lawyer is you have to know how to persuade a jury and appeal to emotion. And it's very hard in terms of line of questioning and whatnot. Now, I think they're obviously... lawyers use AI in terms of filtering stuff. Like, I need any case about this. They pop it in, like, LexisNexis or Westlaw and does that. You know, it's taken over quickly. Don't problem AI replacing actors... Oh, I think you can tell the difference. I do. Yeah, someone trying to use AI on court. Yeah, that was incredible. May it please the court. It's just wearing like a turtleneck. Like a sweater vest or something. It was amazing. Right, you read a script to compare the platforms. Just ask a couple questions. Why are you farming my clients with your illegal descriptions of Dr. Doofenshmirtz? The NFL runs ads. I did see that with like AWS, yeah. Yeah, where's this generational prospect? Is he in the room with us right now? We're like that, yeah, AI grammar program help me out my novel. Yeah, that's... Look, here's the thing with AI. I don't like it if it's taking over the creative process. If it's not used for the creative process, no issues with it. No issues. Like stuff like that. Or like if I'm writing a research paper, let's say. I'm writing a paper. And the paper is... I write the whole paper, but then the works cited page, I need to get in the right format. I'm fine putting that in AI. That's not the creative part. If it replaces the creative part, that's the issue. But the back-end stuff? Yeah, no problem with it. Right, more on the fix. Yeah. Are we upon the Chiefs' downfall? Okay, so... Okay, my picks are... Every time I say a pick with you, it's always wrong. Every time I give you a pick, it's wrong. I'm pretty good with picks except for every time you ask the question. So, yeah, it's a tool, yeah. I'm going to say we are not upon the Chiefs' downfall. We are not. This is just a hiccup. They will not make the playoffs this year, but this is just a hiccup. The Chiefs will be more than okay. The Chiefs' dynasty is not over. I'm saying that because you're... Yep. And I pray to God I'm wrong. Either I'm right for the first time when you ask the question, or I'm wrong and I just reverse jinx like Perna's curse wheel. Right, Grammarly's been a godsend. Yeah, corrects in real time. Yeah, that's great. Like, that stuff I have no problem with. As a tool, it's great. Make the playoffs? Oh, I can confidently say they don't make the playoffs. That I can confidently say. Yeah, we're in the Wild West. Right now, they're 6-7. They need to run the table to even have a shot. 10 wins, I don't think is going to be enough. Because right now, you'll have the 4 division winners. And then you have Buffalo, you don't know the tiebreaker on. You got Houston, who you don't know the tiebreaker on. Jacksonville, who you don't know the tiebreaker on. The Chargers, who you don't know the tiebreaker on. So even if you run the team, the other teams go 500 down the stretch, or 1-3 in some cases, you don't have any tiebreakers. Like the Chiefs, I mean, if they lose another game, they're officially out. Like, they can get eliminated next week. Texans win, the Chiefs lose, they're officially eliminated. Like, for good. They have no room to play with. They're not making it this year. Yeah, I saw a few weeks ago chart number 1 on the country charts. Although Billboard, to be fair, Billboard is getting rid of AI songs. Billboard does not allow them to chart. But still use a driver line from last season? Jeez. That's impressive. Again, ChatGPT is wrong about so much. And it shocks me how many people use it as a search engine. It, like, genuinely shocks me compared to Google, where, you know, there's, like, verifiable sources. It's not perfect, obviously, but where there's verifiable sources and, like, articles and whatnot. It amazes me that people use it as a search engine. When it is very clearly not. Like, you know what's funny too is that even in the ads for ChatGPT, you see the problem with it. Like, you know, the ads that tell you like customized stuff. Even in the ads, they're wrong. Like, that should be red flag number 1. Right, He's dead this year. They can try to get out of the Fraser next year. Yeah. It's like the Warriors. Remember the Warriors have that crap year? They won like 20 games, and then they won the title 2 years later. Like, I started my phone camera screen to see what something is. Yeah. Steelers squad for the playoffs. They will have made the playoffs at least 1 year under every presidential administration dating back to Nixon. That's impressive. Longevity is insane on them. Like, if you look at the... Let me see if I can show it. We'll get back to editing. But let me see if I can show it. Like, if you look at the... You know the ad that plays a lot during the games with ChatGPT? Where is it? I think it was at the bottom. Yeah, here it is. Right. Yeah. Like, your perfect study routine. 7:30 to 8, so 30 minutes. Grab coffee, play your favorite song. It doesn't take 30 minutes to do that. In what universe? Unless you're actually going out to get coffee and paying money for that? Like you're driving out to Dunkin' Donuts or Starbucks and coming back? Like if you have a coffee maker, I'm assuming here, I mean, this looks like a school. This is very clearly a school. So I'm assuming that there's a Starbucks right inside the building. So, okay. Grab coffee, or you have a coffee maker in your dorm room. That takes 45 seconds. Play your favorite song. What song? Okay, so we spent, let's say, 5 minutes to get coffee. 5 minutes to get coffee, because it's in the same building, let's say. We're making a lot of assumptions on this, but yeah, it's in the same building, takes 5 minutes to get your coffee. What song takes 25 minutes? Unless it's like 2112. Or like Tchaikovsky or something like that. Oh yeah, that song's insane, yeah. It's catchy. That song is ridiculously catchy, I will say that. Yeah, that commercial's so bad, yep. I will say that song is like just hysterical. Now I think it's real, it's nuts. I've had people, like, my mom has sent me stuff saying, I can't believe they did that. I'm like, Mom, that's fake. It's AI. And she was like, oh, how can you tell? I'm like, you can very clearly tell. What was one? Well, let me see if I can find one. That I got sent. But it's scary. It's really scary. Like, yeah, I'll start. Yep, Inagata Vita. like I want to see if I can. Yeah, well, I'll show you. Like this is one. Like, it's scary how bad media literacy is. Like this is one that someone sent me. I saw this one. Someone sent me this. And I'm like, hang on. You can't see it because I need to move this. Someone sent me this. Saying wait, why are the Jaguars doing this and whatnot? And first off, this isn't our stadium. This is not our stadium. That's not what it looks like. At all. You can even see on the background it says TIAA Bank Field. That's not the name of our venue. That's not our venue name. Number two, we were on the road that week. This was this came out September 27th. We're on the road. We played the Niners on the road that week. It's no. But I got sent this by multiple people. Multiple people were like, why is your team doing this? I'm like, what? We're on the road. And that's not our stadium. And yet 6,300 people on a Facebook page that has only 7,000 followers. They have the Cubs, yeah. They have a hard time, Neil. Yep, you're right on that one. Yeah, Alice's Restaurant, yep. Yeah, we're still live along with the cold switch failed in epic fashion, yep. Chicago said the same way of collapse? Yes, they did. It's like, that's not our venue. We're on the road that week. That's not the name of our stadium. And like, also, if they're talking about their next home game, it's a Monday night game. It was against the Chiefs. So it's not even a Sunday game. People are falling for this. God, the Jaguars organization means so much to many of the owner were simple like, that's not, this didn't happen, obviously. Like, you can tell it's AI. And like my favorite one, let's see if I can find this one, that people fell for. Like, people fell for this one, which was insane to me. Hang on. Like, this got a ton of likes, too. Steve Tasker passed away. Steve Tasker, the incredible special teams player on the Bills, passed away. Born in 1986. Is he thrown into an airlock? Yeah. Those likes from people who have gray hair, slightly regular, called GG or some of the name. Yeah, just give 3,000 picks. They could. Right. He was not. No, I've heard nothing about him being a Jaguars fan. But like Steve Tasker. He was drafted in 1985. So he was born in 86. The Bills drafted him. Yeah, and Tom Grossi, yeah. The Bills drafted him, or the Oilers drafted him, was negative 1 year old. Steve Tasker made the Pro Bowl when he was 1 year old. 1987 made the Pro Bowl. Born in 1986. Also, I love that it says 1986-05, and then it says age 62. Yeah, because that adds up. And people fell for it. It's like, I don't get it. I just don't get it. Carroll's one done. He should be. The problem is that I think Mark Davis doesn't have enough money. That's the problem. Yeah, the Grossi, I don't know what. Yeah, Grossi, yeah. That was from an AI page. Also, he was apparently 49 years old. Grossi was 49 apparently when he died. Even though he's very clearly not 49 years old. Yeah, drafted at negative 1 year old. Not even 1 year old, negative 1 year old. It takes 9 months to make a baby. But the Bills have the foresight to know these two people are going to make a baby and they're going to produce one of the greatest special teams players of all time. He made like 3 Pro Bowls before he could walk. 4 Pro Bowls before he could form coherent sentences. Like, impressive. Yeah, Grossi's 49 now, yep. It's like, media literacy is so bad right now. And you can tell when something's AI. Basically, I've done enough of these ChatGPT things, and I've seen enough on Twitter to know when something's AI and when something's real. Like, you can do it. Like, I would probably be able to pass a test in terms of guess if this is a real statement by a person or if it's AI. The way you can tell, M-dash, pretty easy. Excessive use of M-dash, mostly AI. If something is, that's not this, it's this. Like, that's not heroism, it's cowardly. That's AI. He was there before he was sperm and egg, yep. Demonstrated Browns for the awful 2-point try. The play got blown up. I mean, it was a dumb play. Will it be a dumb decision? I don't know. I hated the call. And Stefanski not do a good job defending it afterwards. He was basically like, I'm not going to get into that. It's like, yeah, he's fired. I don't get why you take your quarterback off the field in that play to call that. But I got other fish to fry with this week. But I was not crazy about the 2-point call. The parent call Grossi, yes. Did the parents guarantee their child could play for the team before conception? I guess so. It's like the Hinge profile is about we're going to make D1 babies. Like, together we can make D1 babies. Pre-gamers are kids' sporting events. It's like, yeah. Yeah, Steve Tasker's family was doing that way before. How he's down the Hall of Fame with those impressive youth accomplishments. Yeah, it's crazy. The NFL is discriminating against toddlers. Clearly, the NFL hates toddlers. Boycott the NFL. My girlfriend is less active on social media now because you can't stand AI. Yep. I don't blame her. Titans would open on the number 1 pick again. Yes, it did. Giants got 3 tries left for victory. Saints a few. Titans Saints could be a big game. Jets could potentially get it now and get their quarterback. It's weird because like half the teams in the running have a chance at a King's ransom for the number 1 pick, and half the teams are going to get Mendoza. So you don't know. Because right now you're in a spot where half the teams that could get the number 1 pick are going to be looking to get Mendoza. And half the teams are going to be like, we're going to trade this pick and get a crap ton. Because we don't need a quarterback. Like the Giants don't need a quarterback. Titans, I don't think need a quarterback. Browns, who knows with the way Sanders has looked. So, 2 decent games out of 3 starts so far. Yeah, Coach is going to do math in the 4th quarter. It's crazy. Curtis Warner, great Browns fan reaction. So, Notre Dame being pushed out. So, my thing with Notre Dame, I said it before, I'll say it again with Notre Dame. I don't have a problem with them being left out. The problem is how they did it. The problem is you don't put them in the top 10 every single week of the rankings. And then the final day, drop them. That's my problem with Notre Dame. They needed to decide early on, okay, if this team loses to Texas A&M and Miami, and they run the table the rest of the way, should they be in the playoff? And for the entire season, they said yes. And then on the last day, they said no. With nothing changing about their resume. If anything got better, because Boise State, they crushed Boise State, and they won the Mountain West. How do you feel about lotteries? MLB, I have no problem with it. MLB, I don't hate it. NBA, the play-in teams should not be eligible for the lottery. The play-in teams should not be eligible. The fact that you can be a game away from the playoffs and get the number 1 pick is crazy to me. You can't have it both ways. Yeah, AI Eagles. Wait, but that's a big thing now. People are marrying AI. I mean, there's a lot of cheating going on with people who develop emotional attachment to AI. It's scary. It's really scary. And they're feeding like it's just a computer. There's no like human connection there. They don't care about you. They're programmed. Some team might try to score 90 on someone Notre Dame could score 100. I think it's gonna happen at some point. I don't see why not. It's happened before. I mean, Houston back in the day with Andre Ware and Klingler a quarterback. I mean, they did it all the time. It wouldn't shock me on the slightest bit. All right, now we'll go Vince Guaraldi Trio. Yeah, so that finishes that album. 3 weeks search random thing and come across hardcore. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You can come across a lot of that. Yeah. Twitter's kind of fallen off. It's definitely not the platform it used to be. Remember seeing Val a picture of someone holding sign that were war veterans' 100th birthday? It's impressive. Fall in the war in the womb. AI religion? Huh? How does that even work? So, I mean, religion, like, I think the biggest reason why we have religion, not to get, like, philosophical, but, like, I took a religious studies class, and one, like, the biggest thing for religion is 2 things. It's how should I live my life, and what happens after I die. And how does AI know what happens after you die? Because it's a computer. Position 4, Andy Reid. Want to come with the Jets and Mike Greenberg before the offseason started. Jags got lucky to get him. He was on the radar key. I knew he was real deal. Yeah, right now the TV guy, obviously. Right, yeah. It's really going to be nasty sometimes, yes. You know, I love Cohen. I wanted Ben Johnson or Cohen. They're my 1A and 1B. We got 30 cent sites, so I have to find weird things to rest up. Yep. Oh, yeah. Right, all World War I vets are dead. World War II vets are like the World War I vets when I was a kid. Yep. Yeah, I think this was the first year Pearl Harbor. No survivors were at the ceremony because they're all 100 years old. so they couldn't fly out. It would be just too much. This was the first time that we had a Pearl Harbor remembrance ceremony, and there was not a single survivor that was left. There were only 12 left, and all of them are in their late 90s, early hundreds. So obviously it'd be tough to fly them across on a 5-hour flight. Burrow, Lamar, who's more like a trade in the offseason? I would say Burrow. Rules are not being able to pick up in top slots based on market and past picks. I mean, I don't hate that. Spend money. If you spend money, you're eligible. I get that. Him over on 4th and 1? Yes, it was. Yes, it was. I think Burrow is more likely to get traded. Lamar, I'd be very surprised. All right, let me get the clip in of this. Yeah, the final one passed away, yeah. And we're getting to that point. It's going to be nothing, no scoring every day. Penn State hiring Campbell, the process was an F, but the actual hiring, A+. He turned, I would say, was in the dumps when he got there. I would say outside of Psycho Wallace had never done anything before Matt Campbell. He comes in, turns the program around with limited resources. I think he's going to do a heck of a job. Come watch a Big Ten championship for the 10th time. Can't believe Hoosiers beat Ohio State. Oh, I don't blame you, man. You with the happy tears, enjoy it. Soak it all in. Going to Pasadena. Crazy. Going to Pasadena. I never thought I'd see the day. After 32 straight games against Ohio State without winning, and being the cellar all these years, and then 2 years later turn around and do that, like, just insane. That's why we love sports. Because when you do reach the mountaintop, it's such a good feeling. I don't know if I'll ever experience it, but you never know. There are only 2 or 3 surviving Navajo code talkers, yeah? Right, I would say hire the Washington State coach at South Dakota State. I don't like that hire. So I am not crazy about Rodgers' in-game management skills. Back in 2017-18, I was restaurant manager, felt so strict doing the hiring paper for people born after 9/11. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's crazy. Like, there's stuff that, like, I remember watching as a kid. And, like, vividly remember where I was. And people weren't, like, people that can drive and are in college and whatnot, they weren't even born for that. It's like, wait, what? You finally got to get a work coach. I'll give him time at Penn State's worth of love. It's very easy, except for the 2 teams like Michigan, but not Ohio State. Yeah. Just between Rodgers and Fields, yeah, a lot of might not play for the next year. Yep. Gotta love that organization. Rip ASC Tasker. Yep, it was nice knowing you. We're all unks. Yep, we were all unks. Crazy. Crazy. All right. So to check something really quickly with this. I didn't say my reaction is good enough to make the dumb decisions episode. So obviously, when I do edit, when I do a demonstration, if I can play it and if I can get my reaction, if it's good, I will put it in. So 26 people, which are 36 people who were born when I graduate high school will be graduating high school. I'm at the age where people were born where I'm learning or finally starting to learn how to drive. Yep. Oh yeah, it's a weird feeling. It's a weird feeling, like, you feel it when you watch your first draft and you realize, oh, these people are younger than me. And then it also hits you when you're 4 years removed from high school and you're like, wait, there's not a single person in this high school that was there when I was there. Hang on. Just see. That's maybe the other thing. You get used to it. Let's see. Around when the Jags, Texas Panther become NFL teams. Yeah, I was not. But Steve McNair's death happened closer to me still being in the womb than today. That's, yeah, it's insane. Turned 30 and think about when Bryce Harper Mike Trout drafted when I was in high school. I remember Strasburg's debut. I remember that. Yeah, I'll probably not include that in. I don't know yet. The Browns Cleveland Baltimore? Yeah. So you're around in 95. You were around. My high school class was less normal one because I happened right before the pandemic. Yep. It was less normal college class. Belichick was head coach for one day. What a glorious day it was. What a glorious day that was. Don't know what he ever did after that, though. Definitely didn't go to a rival and become just insane. How's it going, Abby? Yep, our weekly Monday tradition does feel that way at this point. Feels like that. Tired Jewish Lions fans who are not even live when Barry was fine. Yeah. That's what I like about being a Jaguars fan is that I've pretty much seen everyone at this point. You're exhausted? I don't blame you. Yeah, after the long day on Saturday, oh yeah. You were stuck in traffic outside the Sears Tower in Airline when it was reported as a potential target all over the radio. People were running out of buildings if the city was on fire. I don't blame them. I mean, no one knew what was next. I mean, Disney World closed. The generation that never saw the Lions go in 16 is driving. Man. They're in college, yeah. Sorry to explain that day to people who weren't around to it. Yeah. Because everything changed, like, immediately after. So security, like, I remember Dad was telling me, like, he could just go through the airport, like, without any ID. Obviously, can't do that now. Felt odd after Tom Brady retired because he was a star for my entire life. Yeah. When LeBron retires, that's going to be me. My whole life, I've known LeBron in the NBA. It's going to feel very weird when he retires. 10 years away from tying the record for longest playoff drought. Can they do it? Through Woody Johnson, all things are possible. Or for American Airlines at their carry call center on 9/11. Yeah, that must have been just a surreal moment. Right, most fantasy football leagues end this week. Only just for tackles, main Texas fumble punch, who's forced OT. I don't know if they force a fumble on the punt, but a 3 and out. I could see them forcing a 3 and out. Your 2 was the last time the Leafs won the Stanley Cup. They were the last one in the original 6 era. Wow. Yeah, they still have not won it in a long time. Last to win it, and then they had some expansion teams, and it's been all downhill ever since. He was a 14 playoff for some weeks, a playoff match for 2 weeks. I like that though. I do like aggregate playoffs. I'm not opposed to that. O'Hare Airport in high school, walk around the terminals, talking to people about trips and places want to go. Yeah, obviously can't do that anymore. Yeah, the memes the last time they won the cup. I do love those. McKean was a rookie. Yeah, that was the finally they ended the outdated blackout policies. That was insane that the NHL even allowed that to happen. Airport security, yeah, airport security sucks. Problem is that too, my computer never gets through airport security. My computer that I have, I carry it around because it's literally just it's like a box, like a MacBook Studio, and they always think it's like some explosive device or something. It's like it's not. It's literally just a computer. Then we got today until 6:45. Holy cow! That is late. Yeah, I do not envy that. That is a crazy sleep schedule. The talking chance the Rangers used to get when people go 1940. Well, the Flyers have won cup since 1950, which is 50 years ago. Yeah. Want to check the blackout? We couldn't because the games weren't accessible. You know, the blackout policies were done back then. The fact that it was 21st century was still going on is insane. We got nothing done yesterday? Yep. I would assume. Never jail skid 7 Notre Dame. I say Stephen leave it to his dad's shadow. I mean, look, Marvin Harrison did. Marvin Harrison Jr. did at college. I mean, he was so good at college. Went to a WHA game in 1983. Went to a USFL game. What defunct leagues in 93? Could he have gone to? Probably some pay-per-view. Crazy. Crazy time period. Yeah, Bill Ward's so bad. So bad. One thing I did was fly home and go to sleep, then watch football. Saturday football was starting. The 1 o'clock games were just ending. That is quite the day. Yeah, that's saying a lot with Chicago, yeah. Good buddy, Andrew Johnson, Larry Fitz, two of my favorites. Yep, both can be Hall of Famers. I mean, Johnson's already a Hall of Famer. Fitz will make the Hall of Fame this year. Come on, streaming now. Been at work since 6. You've been streaming almost the entire time. Big props to the dedication. Appreciate you, Tech. You know, we hit the stretch goal. Basically, I have this goal in stream. If we get $300, I'll edit the video, the next video live on the air, and we've hit that. Yeah, they're contemporaries. That's insane. Yeah, unfair season goalers. That's why I refuse to broadcast games. But it's a different experience. Like, that argument failed back in the 70s. This guy, oh man, yeah, I get. Yeah, I saw the comments afterwards. I'm like, oh yeah, I guess that was stuff went down. I'm guessing. But yeah, saw a good game at least. ACC was a heck of a game. It was one of the best games of the season. Man, that was fun. It's like, it's not like, as someone who has season tickets for the D-backs, it's not unfair to me. It's not, believe me, I'm not, like, saying, oh, it's so unfair the games are on TV. I'm not, it's a different experience. Yeah, Charles Rogers, yeah, way too young. How can I recommend a football Steam game? I don't even have Steam. What game? If you got your headphones last night, so I couldn't tune in for the stream. Yo, Ohio State loser though. I mean, crazy game. They should not have kicked the field goal. 4th and 1 in that spot. I'm going for it. I know he got stuffed earlier on the QB sneak. I'm going for it there. Chargers have a chance against Philly? I do, yeah. I think Eagles win the game, but I think Chargers have a chance. I mean, the Eagles' offense has not clicked. They've not looked the best, although they do have the Easter Bunny on their side now, so maybe. Football coach college dynasty? Ooh, I have to check that out. Sounds interesting. We also never had a quarterback, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, Abby. I don't know about that, Derek. I don't know about that. I think because Caden Curry played his butt off. I mean, Kenyatta Jackson, Caden Curry, they played the butts off that game. And the defense looked very good. The red zone play calling, yeah. It's funny because Indiana sucked in the red zone the first half, and then Ohio State was like, we can do one better in the second half. Text F cert. I mean, you could show it. I'm not sure she would like that, but it's up to you. Yeah, Saracen looks pretty good now. Granted, there's going to be more tape on him. As time goes on, there'll be more tape on Sanders. Looks better than Gabriel. Way better than Gabriel. Not that it's hard to do because he had no arm strength. Peter Puck, yep. Peter Puck. And then they, the NFL tried it with Freddy Football. I did the video on that a while ago. Yeah, Rams for the Falcons pick, yep. Yeah, maybe trading up with an unprotected pick when you're not a good team was not the best idea. Who runs 1-4 personnel like your best pass catcher on a quarterback who can't run? Yeah, you don't see teams running 1-4. I mean, 1-3 is only like short yardage goal line spots. 1-4 is almost unheard of. Pete said that video was an all-timer history lesson. Oh, wow, Abby. Wow. Wow. That was a fun one to do. That was a fun video to put together. The, I love those, like, weird vids like that. The Pete Stuff video was a fun one to put together. Yeah, just got to make 27. Yeah, because you get a lot of good receivers that year. Obviously, Jeremiah Smith is the big one. Kerwin Shelley's got traded to Detroit. Was hometown hero that got away with the biggest rival. Yeah. Alright. How's it going, Dexy? Just got back making Christmas themed sugar cookies. Nice. Sounds tasty. I do love me some sugar cookies. Alright, let's do that. Mangle makes Hall of Fame sooner rather than later. I mean, he's one of the greatest centers of all time. I would have no problem if he makes the Hall of Fame. He should. He's one of the greatest centers to ever play this sport. Yeah, give me a second here. Just so I do some simple math. 2, 3 times. 4 times. 5 times for 4 yards. 6 times for 5 yards. 7 times for 6 yards. And grandpa video from 10 years ago where tries Little Caesar bacon wrap deep dish pizza. That sounds like a lot. That's 2 big forts in the video. Oof. That is that's definitely an angry grandpa video if I've ever heard of one. Man, I spent all this time rooting against him, now he's on my team. Yep. I've had that happen with a few guys too. Dylan Brooks I hated, now he's on the Suns, like, oh crap. Texas trade for the 3 pick, go down top 5 lopsided trade ever. I don't know about that. I mean, it worked very well for the Texans, but the Cards got some good players out of it. The Cardinals did get some good players. But the Texans got the better end. Well, again, Watson can't play anymore. Watson's not good. Yeah, Nick Mangle was a brick, yes. Him, DeBrickashaw, Ferguson, that was a good offensive line. Mawai, yeah, still, it's okay to still hit Dylan Brooks. Tucker's not going to find a team. No, Tucker, he was not good last year. I have to remember that. He was not good. He can't hit from 50 plus anymore. He's done. I was doing some math on this. Once stay on the Browns, so just be back up. Yep, that contract is so much. Pirates over Schwarber, a 4-year deal. If they sign him, it's solidified skins and going anywhere. I would be shocked if Nutting sent somebody. That's just not like Nutting at all. Man, I'd be happy. I'd be like, you know what? Like, good for the Pirates finally spending money, but I would just be shocked. Put some Schwarbombs into the river. Wouldn't hate that. You know, I would just leave her alone at that point. Right. I would just leave her alone at that point. Blackhawks and Red Wings in the same division. Yeah, big rivalry. Yeah, hopefully that changes. Hopefully when they go to 36. Pirates do the best to be a playoff team for 2 years, then trade skiing 6 months before the contract expires. Yep. That's a tradition. Yeah, well, I want to say it. Yep. Depends how much they spend. Yeah, McCutcheon, I mean, I love McCutcheon. I don't know if he's a Hall of Famer, but he's awfully close. I have no problem if he makes Hall of Fame. The referee signs the Wingsby at the end of the night. I say, yep. For him and Berkman, yeah. The Berkman got it with the Berkman got a ring with the Cardinals, but yeah, Berkman I think will not. I'm not sure Berkman gets in. McCutcheon I think will get in. I think McCutcheon will get in the Hall of Fame. Not first ballot, but I'd be surprised if he doesn't get in. He's not gonna get 3,000, but he could get 2,500. He gets 2,500 hits. He's got an MVP. He's got a case. It'll take some time, but on a weak ballot, I could see it. Gladberg would get 105. The Pope got to see it. Yeah, Taze playing it. Yeah, long COVID. Yeah, long COVID sucks. Are you in bowl game season? I'm not. No, I won't have a chance to go to a bowl game this year. Maybe Fiesta Bowl, but it depends on ticket prices. Depends on if I should just check the bracket. Are they on that side? Let me check. They're not. Yeah, depends on the prices. Oh, wait a second. Hang on. You know, that franchise sign was pretty good for them. I associate him more as a Blackhawk. Yeah, I don't even associate him as a Red Wing. You know, that's a lot, Abby. That's a lot. Yeah, it's hard to figure people out sometimes, especially like in like stressful situations like that. Houston, Texas Bowl, pretty much your home game. So excited about that. That's good. That's good. Have a good time in the game. Yeah, I've never been to a bowl game. I've never been. Haven't been national to the Mississippi Bowl between Auburn and Purdue. Oh boy. Oh, that game. Oh, that game. Yep. Okay, so many teams are declining us. So 5 and 7 teams are starting to get in as a result. Like App State got in. Hang on. Yeah, chicken suit and gorilla suit. Yeah, of course, Harambe. Yep. If I want to go with the Blackhawks, yeah, I associate him with the Blackhawks. Worst thing about being a White Sox fan is nothing team that's living in Boston. Oh yeah, I get that. In terms of look, I'm a Jaguars fan that lives out of market, and you see other teams and fans have success. It's like, when will this ever happen to us? I get that. Yeah, prices should be decent for the Mexican Bowl. I'd be shocked if they're not, because the game never sells out. So, the same state bias at A&M or Alabama. Nope. Right now, I get that, Abby. Yeah, it's not fun. Over Heavis commuter. Oh yeah, one of the commuter schools. Yep. One of 5 guys from my part. It's not a lot, obviously. You know, the school I went to was not commuter school, but I don't want people to go to commuter schools. So it's very different. Right, if it's a local team, it's like Hawaii Bowl when it's Hawaii in the game versus when it's not Hawaii in the game. I was going to go to the Houston, West Virginia game. My parents had that concert the same night. Hopefully it was a good concert at least. For us, a Florida fan, some people at the championship. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Florida, that was a weird year for the Gators with Clayton. Because they were on the ropes in 4 different games that tournament, somehow. I don't know how. I honestly don't know how Florida won that. I felt meme stream about the hit on Rice. I did not. Let me see. Caffeine or Texas game? I did not. No, I'm not a caffeine guy. I do not do caffeine. I do not do energy drinks. I do not do anything like that. Let's go with... There we go. Oh, that's good. That's good. I got a similar one where it's like, he got wrecked on the play. Google Rashee Rice wrecked to learn more. Yeah, that's good, Tech Matt. Freshman Rice about 3 hours in the car commuted to DePaul, then transfer and spent the same amount of time walking around Ohio State's campus. Wow. You know, I'm glad I didn't commute. I'm glad I didn't commute. It's not the same. For Florida State Tech, I truly was over for Florida Championship would be Houston, Texas Tech, and San Antonio. Yeah. I'm just shocked Houston beat Duke. I mean, they had no business winning that game against Duke at the very end. Like, that was one of the biggest choke jobs I've ever seen in college basketball. Duke was up by so much with 30 seconds left. How's it going, Shub? Steelers are in first, but Ravens got a bit robbed. Well, I thought that was the right call. Likely need to make a football move. He didn't. That's always been the rule. 2 steps and then something else. Either you have control the whole way, you make a football move, take a 3rd step. The added element was not there. That was not a catch by Likely. So unless you're Houston, this or Bill Sewell ring, yeah. I mean, to be fair, you made it to the Final Four, which is more than most. Like, that's got to be quite the experience. I went to a school, so I went to High Point. We never made the tournament. We made it for the first time last year. Like, I never got to see my team in the tournament in 4 years, and that sucked. I never got to see my team in the tournament when I was there. 4 or 5 years ago tonight. Yep, December 8th. Dolphins-Patriots game. Yep. Most iconic and infamous moments in the history of Monday Night Football. I wanted to bring that up tonight during the Eagles Chargers game. I wanted to bring that up. Yeah, the eternal question will never be answered. Nope, we'll never know what it catches. The cycle will continue. Yeah, trying to recruit local players, yeah. Because there are some good talent in Houston, obviously. Yeah, let's just have my team. There, that was a fun one. The Big South Championship against Winthrop just was insane. To come back from a 16-point deficit with 16 to go and just play all the backups and do that. Yeah, the contract that Hawaii's required to play for Hawaii Bowl if they become bowl eligible. Yes. Yes, it is. Which, again, saves on travel costs. Saves a lot of money that way. Was there anything wrong for not competing in any bowl bids? Yeah. I think they gotta change the format. They have to change it. I think what it needs to be, because right now you're gonna see more teams doing that. You gotta change the system. And here's what you do. I don't know if it's gonna happen, but it should. To fix the system. This does not apply if your coach retires, gets fired, or resigns, or transfers to a different school, or passes away. It does not count if that happens. It does not count if there is an extenuating circumstance, like a player on your team passed away. And it does not count if X amount of players are in the portal. I don't know what the number would be. Make up a number. Let's just say 30. So in one of those three, this does not apply. But what the rules should be, if you are 6-6 or better, and you are invited to a bowl game, and you decline the invite, and it is not one of those criteria, you are banned from the postseason for next season. You cannot play in a bowl next year. You are not eligible for the playoff next year. I think that needs to be the rule. Otherwise, people are going to decline, and the bowl system, as we know, is dead. That needs to be the rule. It doesn't apply if a player on your team dies. It doesn't apply if your coach is gone. It doesn't apply if more than, let's just say 40% of your team is in the portal. It's not one of those three, and you decline a bowl invite, you are banned from the playoff for next year. And any bowl game for next year. Otherwise, completely screwed. College football has changed forever. Yeah, it does, Banjo. You're not wrong there. Yeah, Clown, that's such a thing. Vanny coach said, we like playing football, so play the bowl game. Yeah, that's a great mentality. Now, the players, to be fair to the players, some of the players might not want to play in the bowl game. Some of the players might be like, you know what? Why risk my draft stock getting injured and whatnot? Well, they swapped Rose and Orange, so it's doable. You could do it. They swapped them. With the proposal, yeah. I think there's got to be something like that. Otherwise, teams are going to keep declining bowl games. Born and raised in Northeast Houston, lived here my whole life, mounted talent. Comes out of this region is insane, yeah. It's funny, because I'm from Long Island, and we did not have that kind of talent. We have very few guys go, like, D1, let alone pro. Kyler's play next year, I think is going to go to the Steelers. What do you think they do at quarterback? I think they try and swing a trade for a guy like Richardson and have Brissett as the backup. And bridge year with one of them. And if Richardson's the guy, great. If not, you draft your guy in 27. You get Sayin or Levitt or potentially Lagway if he improves. Oh for 6 in shootouts? Jeez, that's rough. Regain time going west. Miami, New Orleans, not long fun. No, it's not. I did Miami, New Orleans. I did Miami to New Orleans to Phoenix. I did a layover. It's like 2 hours. It's not bad. Not even. Schedule change? Yep. Or check flights. So football game lasts 4 hours, 4 minutes. Unless it goes overtime, yeah. No, you have a shot. You have a shot at that. I think so, Banjo. I think it's going to start the trend. The schools are a mile from each other. I love that. So my senior year of high school, there are 2 schools in our district. It's a big district. There are 2 schools, and you can walk from one school to the other, and they played each other in the quarterfinals, which was insane. That was quite the experience. You know exactly what that says? Oh, nice. Yeah, I do not. Penn State specifically asked if they not be prepared to pin the Pinstripe Bowl? Wow. That's petty. Wow, from playoff aspirations to Don't schedule us against pin in the pin staple. How the mighty have fallen. I'll go, Jake. I appreciate you, man. Yes, I am. We're doing the Eagles Chargers game. Yes, we are. Was I gonna try? I was trying to it into it. Yeah, you could pull it off. Be close. So you could pull it off. Remember too, the Sugar Bowl is probably gonna start later because they're all on the same network, so it's not gonna start on time. I say it'll start probably at 9. So it's even more time than before. When should I emoji tomorrow? I probably don't have the space for it. I would love to. The problem is that I need to have. So tomorrow, what I'm gonna do? I'm thinking. Let me actually do it now. Hang on. I'll put the emojis in now. Tomorrow is an exception to the rule. I just don't have enough space. The Big Macs. That's a great name. The Big Macs. I love it. Is Fancy Car Alert today? I don't think so. I think they're going to wait till the end of the season. We're supposed to understand the one shop if ABC picks up one of the games. They never do. They want people to pay for ESPN. I think they'll eventually go to ABC. I think the championship will be on ABC in a few years. But yeah, let me get the emojis in. Yeah, I can't do the motivation bunny, unfortunately, because I think I gotta do these. Hang on. Give me a second here. I have the team logo, but I don't think we're going to throwbacks on these. I think what we're going to do... Put this in. Who is that? That's my sister's dog. That's Sprinkles. My mom said she needs to be an emoji because basically she was like, there's the rule about whoever gifts the membership to get us over the line gets to choose the emoji. And she was like, can I do it for Sprinkles? I'm like, yeah. So, yeah. You can thank my mom for that one. But she's cute. You'll see her for real in 2 weeks. I'll be back in New York for the holidays. You'll see her for real. And she is the cutest thing. Hang on. We're getting the emojis in. Just gotta get the right thing. Ooh. Here we go. Tell us the next Rares coach that feels right. I think it'd be the Giants. I think if he's gonna leave the sewers this year, it'd be the Giants. All right, emojis are in. I feel like I have to do it for here. If I'm going to call, great sewers. Always have a good night. All good, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate you as always. Or almost about ready to record the video, which will be good. Yeah, but yeah, obviously Eagles starters logo, but I think we have to do. I think we got to do that. Right, yeah. Right, yeah, temporary slap, yes. I might be able to, actually. I don't know. I got the 4 spots. I don't know what it would take out. Let's take the... I don't know what it would take out. Also, only do Mike. We don't do Sully, but Mike and Sully are on different teams for this game. I don't even know if I get a good emoji for that. Little Princess. You can also get Boo. Let's say, how long does it seem to take? The Chiefs game was fun. I love it. Everybody of it. Yep, I love it too. All dynasties must come to an end. Alright, we're almost there, right? Because we're near the end. Yeah, we'll be at 2,000. So, yeah, if we get to 2,000. Why I think NBC did it. I mean, I think they do it once. They're not showing her as often. I think they did it. I think partly because they announced the wedding is in Rhode Island in June. So I think that's part of why. Because she was in the news for that. Which affect the traffic for those of us who actually live here too much. Yeah, I feel bad. Like, if you live near where the wedding would be, I mean, oh, God. No fly zone? Tight security. Really tight security. Just the reality broadcast stuff, too? Yeah, there was an alt cast, apparently. Is it on NFL Plus? Like, can I download that? I cannot. They do not have the alt cast on, unfortunately. I wish they did. I could make fun of how bad that was. Fortunately, I don't have it. It's on Peacock? I'm going to check. Alright, there's a few clips I do need. The script is done, which is good. I title it. Let me check if it's on Peacock. 3 NBC pick the wedding. They'll figure out something. Yeah, it's going to be televised, you would think. Okay, let me check. Is it on? The altcast on. Altcast. No, not that I can tell. Reality hot seat. No, it's not on. There's no way to archive it. So I guess it's lost media. I don't know why it was a thing. Close to a royal wedding in the U.S. Yes. Oh, it's going to be televised. She wants to tell. It all depends on if she wants it televised or not. But if she does, yep. So I need to get a few clips. So I'll download these. I know I need Eagles Bucks 99. I'm going to talk about this. Download this. Who was it even for? I have no clue. I legit have no idea who it even would have for. 3 best long times right after the season? I have no idea. I'm guessing Brendan Strange has to be up there. Like, Brendan Strange has been a menace blocking. He's got to be up there. I don't know the others. Alright, what else do I need? This is the clip I need. Twitter video downloader. Download. Yes, I have that. I have that. Alright. I'll also need to just do some defensive clips. So, give me a second here. Do a little bit more in terms of this part. Kittle. Yeah, I was going to go Kittle. Hawes, but not against Hawes. And, he had a good game, too. Touchdown, too. Then Brendan Strange. Yeah, Brendan Strange, I was going to say, he's a menace. Brendan Strange is one of the best tight ends in football. I love that guy. Okay, let me make sure. I want to get clips the NFL does not have uploaded. So this one I'm looking at right now. So I'm just going to look at the Texans game. Yeah, Texans Chiefs. I want to look at this. They didn't. I want to see what they posted necessarily. Defensive plays. Why they post the ending to that game? Let's checking out the. Like, did they post equally passes? Okay, they did not. Yeah, they should post stuff on offense. That's fine. When you sell this, remind me to watch someone else. I'll live stream it for a hundo. We'll do a hundo jack for the wedding. It's during the World Cup, so I would not be doing that. So don't have to worry about that. Rehearsal from the Unsung Hero. Yeah, I like the tight end room with him, Kincaid, and Knox. We're just trying to get all these defensive clips. So if he's a man that Taylor streamed herself giving birth. There's a friendship bracelet coming out of the womb. Oh, man. Oh, man. Yeah, video, I'm assuming, should be out by 7:30 Eastern time. I'd be very surprised if it's not at this point. This will not take too long. 7:30 Eastern's my guess. You guys gonna see how it's made. I don't think we'll get Carol out. I'm gonna crash after this is done. I'll probably get Carol out tomorrow, Monsters Inc. Wednesday. That'd be the guess. That's the tentative game plan. It's Carol tomorrow, Monsters Inc. Wednesday, and Thursday the Gym Dance video. Not Gym Dance. Phil Sims video I was talking about. You use 3 of positions, teams 3. Yep. You know, if Cook holds on, look, if he can just hold on to the ball like he has, like obviously it's not been the last 2 weeks, but if he can just refine his form and hold on to the ball, I mean, with the way Josh Allen's playing as of late and with the way he's using the tight ends, I like the Bills' chances. Especially the AFC is wide open this year. Obviously, now the big game, Eagles, Chargers, the Eagles win that game. That's massive for the AFC picture. It's not all Swifties. Definitely not all Swifties. But there are degrees. It's like everything. It's like Disney adults, too. It's like there's degrees to this. I still cannot believe they went for it on a 4th down. So my dad, when it was officially over, I blame Taylor Swift. You knew she was trouble. This will be our best chance. No Ravens, no Bengals, no Chiefs. Yep. Mahomes can't knock you out this time. Within words of the Texans? Yeah. Texans should concern you. I mean, they concern me. Look, I said it for a while. The Texans are the best team in the AFC. Like, times it's inconceivable. Yep. I mean, I've said it for a while. I said it when they were not in the playoff field. Like, even when they were not in the playoff field, I said it. They're the best team in the AFC. If that offense is even average, it's going to be tough to beat them. That defense is just so good. And they scare me. They scare the living daylight out of me. Like, at least the Jags are in at this point, barring anything crazy, but God, they scare me. Like, the Texans are just, man. The next Yoko Ono, she'll break up the band. And she has no band to break up, at least. She also has musical talent. I mean, say you want about Taylor, but she has musical talent. Yoko Ono did not have talent. Show us your H. I get you. Going way back on that one. Speaking of John Lennon, today's the anniversary of that. Django and Billy Crystal will voice their characters? Yes, they are. Now, it's going to be like pre-taped segments, obviously. Like, they're not going to be voicing them live. They'll have the pre-taped segments, so they'll have, like, different outcomes based on the result of the game. But, yeah. They are voicing the characters. Which will be nice. I hope it's good. Believe me, I hope it's good. The technology has not been there the last 2 years with Toy Story and Simpsons. I don't know why Monsters Inc. this year. It's just bizarre timing. Why not do it in 2 years when you open up the roller coaster at Hollywood Studios? Like, why not then? I don't know. But unless it's not a Dude Perfect all cast. So we haven't had one of those in 2 years. Right, Toy Story and none of the voice actors. Yeah, Toy Story was lazily done. It was very lazily done. Simpsons had. Their personality of Cyclass count as credit. All they did was teach Beatles history. Oh, that sounded cool. I would have taken that. Only bad playoff game for every season. Steelers win. The North is Bills Steelers because that'll be a blowout. Yeah, I think Steelers gonna be a one and done. I mean, they scream one and done. I'm very surprised if they're not a one and done. Nothing about them scares me at all. All right, so these are all the clips. I just need to spread them out so they're not too close to each other. Then we'll record and go from there. Tom Hanks' brother, actual voice away, was not available. I did not know that. Yeah, true. Steelers Nation member, I apologize in advance. I'd rather have you guys than the Ravens. Sorry, 4:20. Yeah, it is late. Oh crap! It's 5:20. It's on the East Coast. Holy cow. Yeah, I've lost track of the time completely. So I was on. Holy cow. The more so I have, that makes sense. Yeah. So I was on for the playoffs. So I was on last night from 10 a.m. to, well, my time, but Eastern time, 12 p.m. to about, 2 a.m.? I think 2 a.m. last night. Then I was on from 11:30 a.m. to 1 for the playoff, and then 8 to now 5:30 in the morning, which will be 7 in a little bit. So yeah, I have been on, oh my goodness. Right, either it's low, yeah, I think so. It could be the Jaguars. I mean, look, the Texans could run the table. Jags should have 11 wins and get the 5. I could see that. Yeah, I've been on. So my 10 last night? Yeah, I was not. Yeah, I was on, let's see, last night. Oh, Tulane I was on for 9 hours. Because we did overtime afterwards. I was like, wait. We did a long OT after the Tulane game. So it was 9 hours there. So starting at 8 o'clock Eastern time on... 7 o'clock Eastern time, I should say. 7 o'clock Eastern time on... No, it's an overtime before. So, let me actually think about this. Friday at 5:30 to now. Oh, man. Okay, let me do the exact math on this. I'm going to assume this stream takes 3.5 hours. But let's see. 8:55. Look at the time. So just from Friday at 5:30 Eastern time to now. Let me do a selection show. So then this. Figured this stream will take 3.5 hours. So from Friday at 5:30 to now, 1 hour, 34 hours on stream. Oh my goodness. Holy cow. Wow. And of how many hours? Dungeons of Zeke. No, I got you. We're good. How many hours is that? 34 hours on stream. Out of, I think, 60. Yeah. I think so. I think it's out of 60. 2.5 days, yeah. Yeah, it's 60 hours. 34 hours out of 60 on stream. So, yeah, I've not got a lot of sleep. Once I'm done with this video, I am crashing. But obviously, I gotta get this one out because it's so timely. If we have boring being cooped in one room so never so long, I stretch. I mean, I make it work. I definitely make it work. Clip. I need the press conference in a little bit. I just see where's the kicker thing. we go. That. I just think the press conference clip. All right. Almost there. That makes sense, yeah. That makes sense. In bed, all good, Ryan. Appreciate you, man. Watch it after I wake up and he won the Texans defense players hit me like rice so I could go night-night. The best sleeping pill of all time. That'd be the best sleeping pill ever if someone could do that. You like Petrie? Oh, man. Alright. I'm still off when I make this video. Holy cow. Any reader, Paul Hyman. I had to figure out the schedule of games. Hang on, let me do that as well because I can put that at the end graphic. Alright, I have to put in the end graphic too, and then we'll record. The video should be up by 7:30 Eastern time. Be surprised if it's not. Pass out soon, I'll blame you. I might pass out soon. We got this. We got this. Okay. Let's make sure I can do this. Okay. Stars Jets Tuesday night is at 8 Eastern, okay. Can I do an overtime stream before that? I'll be pushing it. Yeah, we'll schedule it at least. Not sure I'll be able to do it, but we'll schedule it. Why not? Why not? We got college basketball. Right, it's hard out. Yeah, right, we see the signs. Yeah, you're just trying to be. Yeah, you're just trying to be a good friend. I get that. I get that. Yeah, we'll just do one of these every day. Right, you don't just, right, you don't. Then college schedule. FCS. There we go. So we're back at that one by 3, so we go 5 a.m. there. Now we're not going to push it for that. Let's be smart. Starts at 9 p.m. That's a late start time. That's okay. All right. Let me put this up. Okay. Eagles. Chargers. We're almost there. We're almost there. Four photo shoots this Saturday. Wow. Well, of course, yeah. Go to bed. I have a whole night to have the game. Yep. No, we gotta get this video out, and we hit a stretch goal. So basically, what happens is that you hit the stretch goal. I had a video live on the air, and we're editing this one. So we're almost done though. We're almost done. I need to record it. The script is in. The clips are in. I just need to take care of some stuff on the back end, and then record, and then just cross my fingers that I don't pass out. And the video should be up by 8 Eastern time. And then I will crash. And then I will do an OT stream about 9 hours later. And go from there. Okay, the Wookiee one was the... Drinks of Red Bull? No. I will never do it. I know, like, if I start doing air drinks, it would not be good for me. Let's see. I realized Fresno was playing at Cal State Northridge. I didn't realize Fresno was traveling for that one. I thought that would be like a bye game. And on the leaderboard, might as well go to bet back at number 1. Like, any donations would overtake number 1. Any donations by anyone would put number 1. What's Thursday night? Thursday football this week is Falcons Bucks. Oof. Lots of Bucks got to have a game. Falcons are out. They have nothing to play for. At least the last game, the Falcons Bucks on Thursday night, was good. Put that in the schedule. And then we got Stephen F. Austin at Montana State. I definitely don't have that. Yeah, I'll have to get the logos for that. Drag to my desktop. Is there anything like a drag logo to a desktop? It's just for that. It's for the Canva thing. So if you're wondering what are all those tabs, how do you keep track of everything? I don't. I'm just dragging the logo in from ESPN of the team playing, and then I just drag it into Canva, and then I don't need it on my desktop anymore. Eventually I clean it out. But today is not that day. We will do an FCS playoff game. That will not be an issue. Beautiful. All right, well, that's the schedule for the next 5 days. We got a lot of OT streams. Every day except Wednesday. We got like a designated OT stream. So that's cool. Let me just let people know what the game plan is for the for today on the community tab. right. There we go. Just made that post in the community tab. Yeah, Jeff can only win again. The whole Bonds and Clemens, they should be in at some point. They really should be in at some point. It's crazy that they're not. I know they did steroids. I know that. PEDs. But they were Hall of Famers before. I don't think they should be punished the way that, like, McGuire, Sosa, those guys. I think they should be in. All right. Let's move this over here. All right, and now we record, and let's see how long it takes you. Can you do this in one take? It's the question. My voice is not the best, obviously. I am very exhausted, as you can tell. But we'll make it work. All right, so for the next, 15 minutes, I'm not looking at the chat. So I'm going to record this thing. Again, I record everything in GarageBand. You saw me write the script. You saw me get the clips in. Now we get to the good stuff. Now I can record it all down. Here we go. Yeah, what I'm looking at during this is... Let me change it. I go narration vocal. What I'm looking at during this is a timer that shows me exactly how long I'm going on. All right, so... I'm not looking at the chat for the next, 15 minutes. You guys can follow along with the script. Let's hope I can do this in as few takes as possible as we go from there. All right. Let's do this thing. Turn the volume down. One more sip of water. All right. Let's do this. This might be the most consequential tackle in... Already off to a good start. I missed a word. Already off... Okay, let's try that again. This might be the most consequential missed tackle in the history of the NFL. No joke, no exaggeration, no hyperbole. This is the most consequential missed tackle to ever happen. This is the reason that Azeez Al-Shaair, despite being fined seemingly every other game for doing something illegal, will win Walter Payton Man of the Year. Because this was the missed tackle that ended the Chiefs' reign of dominance. This was the missed tackle that, at the very least, put the Chiefs' dynasty on pause. It didn't have to be this way, obviously. How could a missed tackle have this much importance? It's still 4th down in a tie game either way. Make the tackle, and it's 4th and 7, and you're punting. Miss the tackle, and Patrick Mahomes is still 1 yard shy of the sticks, and you're punting in your own territory. What's the big deal? Well, oh, my tonsils are tickled, Andy. My tonsils have never been more tickled in my life. Are you feeling it now, Mr. Krabs? Are you feeling the tickling in your tonsils? Because I sure am. I sure freaking am. After what you're about to do. You actually went for it. You freaking went for it in your own territory in a tie game, in a defensive slugfest, and you threw the ball. I'm at a loss. I'm genuinely at a loss. I'm sure this won't come back to bite you guys in any way whatsoever. I'm sure taking this chance near your own 30-yard line won't be costly and give the Texans good scoring position for no reason at all. I'm not surprised in the slightest bit. Welcome to Dumb Decisions. Before I break down what happened here, this whole series is about taking an in-depth look at decisions made during games that were clearly awful from the start. This isn't something to look bad in hindsight. Rather, this is something to look awful almost immediately. These are moves where your gut instinct tells you right away that there is no way this can possibly work. And sure enough, your gut instinct was smarter than that of an NFL head coach. And for this one, we're taking a look at the mind of a Kansas City Chiefs head coach, Andy Reid. How poetic is this? How freaking poetic is this? You could argue that the Chiefs dynasty started off of a dumb decision at Arrowhead in a game involving the Texans. Houston led the 2019 divisional round by a score of 24-0 before head coach Bill O'Brien decided, for some reason, in one of the dumbest decisions in NFL history, to run a fake punt in his own territory. This was widely considered to be a bad move, and the Chiefs not only stopped the fake punt with ease and got momentum out of it, but they scored a touchdown off the fake and won the game 51-31 before winning Super Bowl 54 and seemingly playing in the big game every year and ruining many people's lives and enjoyment of the sport. And now, the Chiefs are all but eliminated from the playoffs on a dumb decision in a game at Arrowhead against the Houston Texans. It comes full circle. Andy Reid has improved a lot over the years as an in-game manager, especially compared to his time in Philadelphia, where he was taking his sweet time on drives that needed to have urgency, and my personal favorite, this game in 1999, where he called for a fake field goal and This game in 1999, where he called for a field goal and completely forgot to send his kicker out onto the field. You can learn more about that by clicking the card in the upper right corner. But this might take the cake. Considering the circumstances and just how insane it was, this might take the cake. So with that being said, let's take a look at why going for it on 4th and 1 and throwing the ball in a tie game in your own territory with 10 minutes to go is a really bad idea. And I need to emphasize that this decision does not take place in a vacuum. There are times where I have no problem going for it on 4th and 1 in a tie game at this exact same yard line. If this was a game where it's a shootout and your offense is clicking, but the other offense is also clicking and they're moving down the field with ease, that's an entirely different story. So if you're going for it at your own 31-yard line on 4th and 1, it is not automatically always a dumb decision. But here, this was a complete lack of understanding for the flow of the game. Your defense have been playing incredibly well. How well? You're seeing it right now. The Texans' offense had done, quite literally, nothing all half. If you were watching this game on your couch, you were about as productive as the Texans were during the second half offensively. After the halftime break, Houston had 5 drives. On those 5 drives, the Texans got a grand total of 1 first down. As you can see from these highlights, it's not hard to see why Houston was struggling. On those 5 drives, the Texans picked up a grand total of 17 yards of offense. That is 3 yards per drive, or thereabout. They called 18 plays and got 17 yards. You don't need to be a mathematician to know that this comes out to less than a yard per play. And you don't need to know anything about the sport to know that this sounds really bad. And that's because it is. On 3 of those 5 drives, the Texans failed to get a single yard. The Texans ran the ball 7 times on those 5 drives and picked up 6 yards. The Texans threw the ball 11 times, and on those 11 dropbacks, C.J. Stroud not only missed his first 7 passes, but went 2 for 9 with 13 net passing yards. If you include the end of the first half, on C.J. Stroud's last 12 dropbacks, he went 2 for 10 with 8 net passing yards, averaging less than 1 net yard per dropback and having as many completions as he had sacks. This was not a situation by any means where you cannot stop the Texans from moving the ball down the field, and punting only delays the inevitable, and the Texans get the ball, go on a 7-minute drive, churn a ton of clock, and take the lead. The Texans had no answers offensively. And here you are, just giving them the ball in literal field goal range if you don't get the first down, and giving them a chance to win the game, at the very least take the lead, by doing nothing. I know it's hard to deal in hypotheticals, because so much can change in this sport. But let's realistically think about it with the sample size we have. Let's say you punt the ball away at your own 31-yard line. Odds are Matt Araiza will punt it about 45 yards, and the Texans are starting their drive at their own 24-yard line. Do you honestly think that the Houston Texans, who have gotten 17 yards in their last 5 drives combined and are averaging less than a yard per play this half, who have gotten 19 yards in their last 6 drives combined on an average of 0.7 yards per play, and who have gotten 34 yards in their last 7 drives combined on an average of 1.1 yards per play, will drive all the way down the field and put themselves in a spot to get 3 points and take the lead? No! There's no chance that happens. Maybe not no chance, but the odds are not on their side. This is a defensive slugfest, and you're taking it to them. And now, you're literally going to give them the ball in field goal range if this fails? For no reason? Let's think about this. Let's actually think about this for a second. You should not be throwing the ball when you have not thrown the ball well at all today, when you've been pressured on most plays, because the Texans possess the best 1-2 punch on the defensive line in Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter, and when your quarterback, on his last 5 passes, including a few on this drive, mind you, is 0 for 5 and has also thrown a pair of interceptions on the day. This is a low percentage play to pick up 1 singular yard. Throwing is not wise here. However, I'll tickle my tonsils and entertain this. I will do that for you, Andy Reid. I will tickle my tonsils just for you and just go with this. Let's say you get the first down here. By some act of God, you get the first down. Congratulations. You still need to go about 30 yards to get into field goal range. So even if you get this, you need to go a long way to take the lead. Meanwhile, if you don't get this low percentage play against the literal number 1 defense in football and a defense that has been on your butts the entire night, you're literally giving the Texans the ball in field goal range without them having to do anything. So long as the Texans don't lose 7 or 8 yards, you allow Fairbairn, one of the best kickers in football, and a man with a pretty strong leg, to kick something well within his range. This is Luigi winning by doing nothing. This is very similar to the Cowboys-Eagles debacle in 1995, which you can learn more about by clicking the card in the upper right corner. Why give your opponent momentum and field position for no reason whatsoever when they can't do anything themselves? This decision completely went against the flow of the game, and it cost the Chiefs big time here. And then, if that wasn't enough, Andy Reid decided to do it again. Yeah, it went about as well as you expect. Again, the Texans had done nothing offensively all half, and basically all day, since the touchdown drive that put them ahead 10-0. They were averaging about a yard per play, if not less than that. They showed no signs of life, and you rejuvenated them for no reason. And by failing on this 4th down, which was a longer distance, and you still had plenty of time, and all your timeouts, well actually, 2 timeouts because you burned one to talk about that play for some reason, you gave the Texans the ball in field goal range to make it a 2-score game. They couldn't move the ball offensively, and they actually went backwards, so you actually kept it at a 1-score game, but still, it was stupid. This felt like a complete and utter panic move. There's no other way to say it. This was a panic move from a normally composed coach, hence why the Chiefs won the Super Bowl all those years ago, despite trailing by double digits in all 3 of their playoff games, and from a coach that is easily bound for the Hall of Fame on the first ballot. He panicked. Plain and simple, he panicked. And I'll let him explain why he decided to do it, because you know he was asked about it during the post-game press conference. At least he's holding himself accountable and taking responsibility. But I also love when coaches say things like, I thought it would work. No crap you thought it would work. I'd hope you think it would work. I'd hate to have a coach who called stuff that he knew wouldn't work. If he didn't think it would have worked, no exaggeration, you fire him on the spot. I'd hate to have to play for a guy and put my body on the line for a guy who's just winging it and is unsure whether things will work. Either way, whether you thought it was going to work or didn't think it was going to work, the bottom line is that in this results-based industry, it didn't work. It didn't even come close. Needing 1 yard instead of running the ball, you called the pass when the last 5 were unsuccessful. And you called this low percentage play in a tie game deep in your own territory where the opponent would get the ball in field goal range and take the lead in the absolute best case scenario on a night where the opponent hadn't been able to move the ball at all this entire half. When you break it down like that, this truly is one of the dumbest decisions of the entire season. And if this is how the Chiefs dynasty ends, and if this is truly how their season ends, barring a miracle, it ends with Andy Reid, the normally reliable coach, and one of the greatest to ever do it, panicking out of nowhere. This was a panic move. This was a losing move, and this was potentially a dynasty-ending move. So what did we learn from all of this? If your defense is stuffing the opposing team on every drive, and you're winning the field position battle as a result of it, then don't put your defense in a spot where they're playing from behind the 8 ball with no wiggle room and with a deficit all but guaranteed. If you need 1 yard, then calling a low percentage play that goes against the flow of the game and does not play to your strengths is not the best idea, especially when just falling forward is always an option. If the risk of a play greatly outweighs the reward, and if you decide that you're willing to trust an offense that's been struggling and can't move the ball down the field, while also not trusting a defense that's been dominating and allowing less than 1 yard per play over the course of an entire half, and has allowed 0.2 first downs per drive to start off the half, then you need to reevaluate your priorities. And if you're desperate in a tie game with 10 minutes to go, then you need to rethink everything about how you coach a game. This might be the end of an era. Because when all these elements are in play, you can't exactly be surprised when this play backfires. Talk about a dumb decision. How about that? One take. I mean, there was one screw up. There was one at 6 a.m. on the East Coast. Yep, it is getting early. There you go. Last 33 of the last 60 hours on stream. 15 and a half minutes script plus the clips and whatnot. That will add the runtime to it. And yeah. There was one screw up and that was it. There was one hiccup. But you see, too, with the script, I sometimes improvise some stuff. So now we go to Adobe Podcast. This is an AI tool that I use. And it just gets rid of the background noise. So, plug that in. Go from there. Holy cow. Yeah, I mean, a lot of that stuff was not in the original script. I just improv that. Man. Now we have to just put the audio in with the clips. Still live. Yep, I'm still live. Well, now we're going to edit the video. I just finished recording the script. The clips are in, so at this point, we should be off in like 30 minutes, I would think. This will be about a 17, 18-minute video, I would think. Let's download that. Pillows to Hofstra? Oh, let's go. Let's go. It's not a knock on you. It's not a knock on Pitt, obviously. I did not know that. So I went to a ton of Hofstra games growing up. I remember watching Charles Jenkins back in the day. Being on that campus many times. Many times I've been on that campus. I grew up on Long Island, so. Been there many times. Aimed that cafeteria many times. I went on a lot of field trips there many times for different, like, speakers and whatnot and stuff and whatnot. So I have, like, sentimental ties to Hofstra and went to a lot of games. Went to a lot of Hofstra games growing up. Pitt lost to Hofstra. Holy cow. That's insane. That is insane. I did not know that. That's got to be a buying game. That's got to be epitome of brutality. That's got to be a Rothstein epitome of brutality kind of moment. All right. Now, we edit this bad boy. You can't get in before Mangley's a crime, yeah. Look, I'm fine with Kent getting in, but just before Murphy, Mattingly, Bonds, Clemens, like, really? Why? Just why? Everyone's a Quinnipiac, yes. Oh, yeah. It's had some interesting losses over the last few years. So I need to get... I was reading the tackle. I think we'll do a Ken Burns effect on this. Well, San Francisco just beat Mississippi State on the road after losing a guarantee game. So, like, nothing makes sense. Nothing makes sense in college basketball this season. All right.
Trying to stay on side there for a second through the first hit. The second one brings him down the arch.
Let's take a screenshot of this. I'm gonna freeze frame. I think I'm gonna just freeze frame this bad boy. Go Ken Burns effect. That's what I'm thinking. Wait, so just for shoes? That is, wow. I can't even imagine. I'm a pack-like kind of guy, so.
The second one brings him down the arch.
This might be the most consequential. This might be the most consequential missed tackle
worse, yep.
in the history of the NFL. No joke, no exaggeration, no hyperbole. This is the most consequential missed tackle to ever happen. Missed tackle to ever happen. This is the reason. This is This is the reason that Aziz Al-Shire, despite being fined seemingly every other game for doing what
happened there?
Every other game for doing something illegal, will win Walter Payton Man of the Year. Walter Payton Man of the Year. Because this was the missed tackle that ended the Chiefs' reign of dominance. This was the missed tackle that at the very least put the Chiefs dynasty on pause. It didn't have to be this way, obviously. How could a missed tackle have this much importance? It's still fourth down in a tie game either way.
How many days?
Make the tackle, and it's 4th and 7, and you're punting. Miss
How many
the tackle,
days
and Patrick
is
Mahomes
the
still
trip
1
in
yard drive
question?
to 6, and you're punting in your own territory. What's the big deal? Well,
Some of my answer will vary depending on how many days. Okay. Ken Burns effects start. We'll end it here.
Second one brings him down the yard.
this might be the most of dominance. This was the missed tackle. What's the big deal? Well, have the sticks, and you're punting in your own territory.
We're going to try to tickle your tonsils on every play, every game.
As many heels and stiletto boots as possible, so Jordans and Timberland boots. Oh boy.
Oh, my tonsils are tickled, Andy. My tonsils have never been more tickled in my life. Are you feeling it now, Mr. Krabs? Are you feeling the tickling in your tonsils? Because I sure am. I sure freaking am. After what you're about to do, you actually went.
Yeah, I don't know how long the trip is.
You're about to do.
Make the late subs. Anderson almost got there. Pass is incomplete. Late subs. 4th and 1, and they're going to lead.
Upwards of 6 days. All right. Upwards of 6 days. I'm going to assume, I mean, this sounds insane. 1 pair for breakfast, 1 for lunch, 1 for dinner. 18. I'm going to assume something stupid. 18 pairs of shoes. Can't wear the same shoes twice. I'm going to go 18 pairs. Based on what you're telling me. In the right ballpark. Me, I pack 2 pairs of shoes for a trip. I pair flip-flops and sneakers. That's me. I have 1 pair of flip-flops, 1 pair of sneakers. I might pack a 3rd pair for dress sandals, depending on the occasion, but usually it is no more than 3 pairs of shoes that I'm packing.
You actually went for it. You freaking went for it in your own territory, and it's went for it in your own territory.
Plus, the Summers really wants to wear the heels and sets too.
And you threw the ball.
Yeah.
I'm at a.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And you threw the ball. I'm at a loss. I'm genuinely at a loss. I'm sure this won't come back to bite you guys in any way whatsoever. I'm sure taking this chance near your own 30-yard
the church.
line
How's it going, Ben? Appreciate you tuning in.
costly and give the Texans
You have
a
the-
good scoring
Yeah,
position
'cause you got
for
the,
no reason at all.
You got the practice today, right? You got a lot of practice today, if I'm not mistaken. Or was that yesterday? The days are just blending in with each other. Was the choir thing yesterday or today?
And for no reason at all, I'm
But hopefully that's going well. Or it went well. Again, but the days just... You rehearsed currently. Okay, yes. Yes. Yeah, hopefully it's going well. I remember those days. I remember being in choir and all that, and those days, and yeah. Those days were long. Taxed on the voice, but long. I do not miss those. There's some stuff I do miss about choir. I do not miss that. At all. We're still doing the same thing. Oh, okay.
I'm
I like how the script came out. I really actually like how this... Not that I don't like how most scripts come out, but like this one, I really like the flow of it.
I'm not surprised in the slightest bit. Welcome to Dumb Decisions.
You know, year 12 drama level Christmas piece? Oh, yeah.
Welcome to Dumb... Welcome...
Hopefully it goes well.
Welcome to Dumb Decisions.
Love a good
Before
Christmas piece. Love a good Christmas piece. Choir currently runs Silent Night. Oh, that's worth it, yeah. Especially in a church. I can't imagine Silent Night in a church with the acoustics. I mean, the acoustics in churches are just incredible. So I can't even imagine. That must sound great. Dress sounds for men exist? Wait, you didn't know that? I can show you. They're not like anything... They're not like crazy. Hang on. It's just like this. Dress sales? No, it's just like this. It's nothing crazy. Or just like this. This is mine. So you can't wear flip flops. Like you don't want to do sneakers. It just got the strap on the back. Yeah. I like these random sneakers. I like having the circulation. Like it looks classy to some extent. Yeah, no, these are dress sandals. They're not anything special. They're not like. They're not anything like that. Lower school, so you're 79, so 11 to 14 age. Oh yeah. Yeah, like anything, like any like Hallelujahs or Silent Nights and stuff like that. Like with that, I mean, yeah. I can imagine how like angelic that sounds. That sounds awesome.
Dumb Decisions. Before we break down what happened here.
Which are the heels fitter rather than this? Yep.
Before we break down what happened here, this whole series is about taking an in-depth look at decisions made during games that were clearly awful from the start. This isn't something look bad in hindsight. Rather, this is something look awful almost immediately. These are moves where your gut instinct tells you right away that there is no way this can possibly work. And sure enough, your gut instinct was smarter than that of an NFL head coach. And for this one, we're taking a look at the mind of a Kansas City Chiefs head coach, Andy Reid. How poetic is this? Poetic is this? How freaking poetic is this? You could argue that the Chiefs dynasty started off of a dumb decision at Arrowhead in a game involving the Texans.
Balls out? Yes, they are. Yep.
Involving the
Yeah, I'll show you the games we're going to be calling. So the games we're going to be calling for the bowls. Tennessee is in a bowl. So, just checking the time. Yeah, Tennessee's in the Music City Bowl. So the game plan for us calling bowls is we're going to do all the playoff games. Chiefs, what happened with Dum Dums? It was a tie game. Yeah, the Chiefs, Texans, it was tied at 10, and Andy Reid decided to go for it on a 4th down deep in his own territory when their defense was playing lights out. And I didn't get it. It was just weird. Reid's first non-classic appearance as a decision? Yes, it is. As crazy as it sounds, yes, it is. Never thought I'd see the day. Yeah, we're doing all the playoff games. We're doing the LA Bowl, Army-Navy. We'll do the Veterans Bowl. We'll do the Cure Bowl. I can't do the Ventures Bowl because I'll be flying out back to New York. XX Bowl during football. Friday. I have no clue on any of these. No clue on Friday. Potato Bowl, maybe. I have not decided yet. I might do Potato Bowl. But again, actually, wait, no, I can't because I have an appointment that day. I can't do Potato Bowl. Yeah, I have an appointment. Boca Raton, I don't know. Yeah, I can't do Frisco, can't do New Orleans. Might be able to do Boca Raton. I doubt it, though. I actually highly doubt we can do Boca Raton. So, we'll figure something out there. Hawaii Bowl will do. 3 size under what you would normally wear. Ooh, wow. 26th, I'm flying back to Phoenix, so probably can't do any of these games. 27th is during the NFL, so can't. I might be able to, depends on when they announce the time, I might be able to do like Penn State Clemson potentially, but I'm not sure yet. Depends on when if the NFL announces the games, if it's going to be like a 4:30 game or a 1 o'clock game, I don't know. 29th, Birmingham Bowl, maybe. Not sure. The 30th, we'll do Music City and we'll do Alamo. 31st, either Citrus or Sun Bowl, depends on the you make the call. And then playoff, obviously we're doing all the playoff games. Then January 2nd, we'll do a you make the, I'm not even sure we'll do you make the call on that one. Because they don't protect, oh, we could. I would think for that, we might just do between Mayo and Holiday Bowl. Yeah, you gotta move on for Kelsey. He's watching at this point. Yeah, so we should be doing about like 10 non-playoff games. Let me just check also. Let me check the bar that I go to. Check their schedule of events. Make sure nothing is going on. I don't know if they've announced anything for change. They have, okay. Right, we should be okay. Actually, very much okay. Are we editing? We're doing Pop-Tart Bowl? We're not doing Pop-Tart Bowl. Editing Andy Reid dumb decision. We can't do Pop-Tart because it's during the NFL. There are 2 games for the NFL that Saturday. So unfortunately, Pop-Tart will not be calling that one.
Involving the Texans. Houston led the 2019 divisional round by a score of 24-0.
That game is December 30th. That should be a good game. Against Illinois. That's a pretty evenly matched opponent for them. Should be a fun game. Tuesday, December 30th. It starts at 5:30 Eastern. So was it 10:30 by you? I think it's 10:30 by you. Or 20. Yeah, I think that, yeah, 22:30. So I'd say it's worth watching.
Before head coach Bill O'Brien decided, for some reason,
that'll be pretty much a home game for Tennessee because the game is in Nashville. So
for some reason, in one of the dumbest decisions in NFL, the dumbest decisions in NFL one of the dumbest decisions in NFL history to run a fake punt in his own territory. This was widely considered to be a bad move, and the Chiefs not only stopped the fake punt with ease and got momentum out of it.
What did he do? He went for a 4th down at a really bad time
and won the game 51-31 before winning Super Bowl 50.
You'll see the video when it comes out. It's it was really bad.
Before winning Super Bowl 50.
Irish cop out. They got to change the rule. They need to make a punishment where if you opt out of a bowl game, you're not eligible for the playoff or a bowl game next season.
The Chiefs are
otherwise more teams are going to keep doing that.
On a dumb decision in a game at Arrowhead against the Houston Texans. It comes full circle. Andy Reid has improved a lot over the years as an in-game manager, especially compared to his time in Philadelphia, where he was taking his sweet time on drives that needed to have urgency.
Whenever this is done.
And my personal favorite, this game in 1999, where this game in 1996.
Yeah, I'm editing it right now. Obviously, like, the clips are in. I just have to edit the audio. Hopefully within the next hour. Basically, I'm going to hop off stream when I finish editing, and then it'll take it about 20 minutes to come out. Who snubbed? I do not know. They played 2 games against top 15 opponents, and both games they got clobbered. I don't think they were snubbed.
My personal favorite, this game in 1999, where he called for a field goal and completely...
Yeah, so once I'm off stream, you figure about 20 minutes at that point to get the video out.
This kicker out onto the field.
So I'm assuming we'll have it out by about 7:20 Eastern time? Yeah, 7:20 sounds about right.
Out onto the field.
Been throwing to field goal kicking up. 1 second, they got it. Oh, good.
You can learn more about that by clicking the card.
Obviously, sure, it makes sense to go for a both 4th down situation. Yep, I get to that. I get to that in the
and just how
I get to that in the script.
This might take the case.
This is not like in a vacuum.
So with that being said,
if video viewers watch right now, how long? I'm gonna dive in. We'll leave viewers watching between rehearsal. Ooh, how long do you want the video to be? Like documentary, or do you want like normal length, like 15 minutes, or like 1 to 30-minute videos?
Let's take a look at like going for it on 4th and 1 and throwing the ball in a tie game in your own territory with 10 minutes to go.
If you're going documentary, one of my favorite ones I did was Carl Birdsong, The Sad Quest for $5,000. I would say that one. I love that video. The Sad Quest for $5,000. That's like 50 minutes, but it's worth it. That was a fun one.
I need to emphasize that this decision does not take place in a vacuum.
Wait, was you only need a field goal to give your team life?
Where I have no.
Oh, just a normal one? Oh, okay.
4th and 1 in a tie game.
Just a normal one.
At this exact same yard line.
Oh, I would say. No, he's not. No, he's not AK safe. Not even close. Oh, I would say normal one. Pizza Hut. The one about Pizza Hut. That one's a funny one. I do the Pizza Hut one if you haven't done that one yet. That came out like, what, 4 months ago? That was a fun one.
This exact same yard line.
Pizza Hut video.
If this was a game where it's a shootout and your offense is clicking, but the other offense is also clicking, and they're moving down the field.
Yeah, I don't get why you take the quarterback off the field.
That's an entirely different
I don't get why you
story.
take Shedeur Sanders off the field
So if you're going for your own 31-yard line on 4th and 1,
and then Stefanski gave like no explanation as to why he did it. I don't get it at all. They knew all the play. Yeah, they do the play too.
Line on 4th and 1.
Like, at least you call that play, but you have Shedeur on the field. You have to prepare for the pass. Doesn't mean anything in the long run.
But here,
for Andy Reid, he's still a Hall of Fame coach. But this cost him a playoff spot. This game, this decision ended
incredibly well.
This decision ended their season. Ravens low and gonna dive. See you probably Friday or Sunday. Have a good time, man. All good. Hopefully everything was well with the rehearsal. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Ravens. Yep. It's the Ravens Pizza one. Yep. That's the one. Decision on the Browns? Probably not. I gotta do the Raiders Broncos. I didn't like the call for 2, but does it rise to dumb decision? I think it was just a botched play.
31-yard line on 4th and 1. It is not automatically always a dumb decision. But here, this was a complete lack of understanding. How well?
All right, there's the defensive clips.
Incredibly well. How well?
You know, Stefanski.
You're seeing it right
look,
now.
Stefanski's gonna get fired
Texans offense
at this rate.
Quite literally.
Even the press conference says he sounds like a dead man walking.
If you were watching this game on your couch, you were about as productive as the Texans were during the second half.
Like, this line was improv.
After the halftime break, Houston.
Yeah, like Carroll's gonna get a dumb decision versus timeout management at the end of the first half.
Houston had 5 drives. On those 5 drives, the Texans
It's upon the regular shift for me. Yep.
of 1 first down.
We're almost done. We'll be hopping off in probably like 20 minutes. Demonstrations this
It's
week.
not hard
This
to
one,
see why
Broncos,
Houston is
Raiders,
struggling.
definitely we're doing those
On
too.
those 5 drives,
Obviously, if something happens in the
Texans
Eagles
picked
Chargers
up
game, we'll do
a
that.
grand total of
But
17.
the plan is that
Grand
we're gonna make 2 down a game is pathetic. I'm with you. Look,
Grand
Stefanski needs to go. He's not good.
of
I'm with you.
17 yards
Tomorrow
of
will be
offense.
Broncos Raiders.
That is 3
Wednesday Monster
yards
Sync
per
review.
drive.
Unless something
or
happens in the Eagles
thereabout.
Chargers game that needs a
They
dumb
called
decision
18
video.
plays
Thursday,
and got 17
Phil Simms
yards.
broadcasting controversy.
You don't need to be a
That I've
mathematician
been meaning to get to for a little
know
bit
that
now.
This comes out to less than a yard per play. And you don't need to
didn't
know
kick the
anything
field
about
goal.
the sport to know that this sounds really bad. And that's because it is. On 3 of those 5 drives, the Texans failed to get a single yard. The Texans ran the ball 7 times on those 5 drives and picked up 6 yards. Picked up
Yeah, auto came out pretty quality on this one.
Picked up 6 yards. 6 yards. The Texans threw the ball 11 times, and on those 11 dropbacks, C.J. Stroud not only missed his first 7 passes, but went 2 for 9 with 13 net passing yards. If you include the end of the first half, on C.J. Stroud's last
Well,
12
I know it's not
dropbacks,
dedicated
he went
to
2 for
aircraft.
10
Yep, pretty
with
much.
8 net passing yards, averaging less than 1 net
Oh, you're
yard
not
per
kidding on
dropback,
this one.
and
It's like,
had
holy
sacks
cow,
and
this is
had
way
sacks.
easier.
This was not a situation by any means where you cannot stop the Texans from moving the ball down the field, and punting only delays the inevitable.
My God.
The Texans get the ball,
Wednesday
ball is 10
Monster
minutes
Review?
drive,
Probably,
run
yeah.
the clock, and take the lead.
It's definitely by Wednesday. Hopefully, I can get out Tuesday, but definitely by
You are
Wednesday.
just giving them the ball in literal field goal range if you don't get the first down, and giving them a chance to win the game, at the very least take the lead by doing nothing. I know it's hard to deal with hypotheticals because so much can change in this sport, but let's realistically think about it with the sample size we have. Let's say you punt the ball away at your own 31-yard line. Odds are Matt Araiza will punt about 45 yards, and the Texans are starting their drive at their own 24-yard line. Do you honestly think that the Houston Texans, who have gotten 17 yards in their last 5 drives combined, and are averaging less than a yard per play this half, who have gotten 19 yards in their last 6 drives combined on an average of 0.
You're not kidding. Holy cow, that L shortcut is so much better.
On an average of
That is so much better. Oh my God, I could speed up so much with the editing process.
0.7 yards per play, and who have gotten 34 yards in their last 7 drives combined on an average of 1.1 yards
Holy
per play,
cow.
will drive all the way down the field and put themselves in a spot to get 3 points and take the lead? No, there's no chance that happens. Maybe not.
No one's to
chance.
do anything. $300. If we get 300 on stream, I do it. So that's why we're doing it. We hit 380 on the last stream, which is just insane. Wait, no, the 2-point try, that was the right call. The call itself sucked. The call itself, taking a straight off the field, sucked.
Maybe not. No chance. But the odds are not on their side. This is a defensive slugfest, and you're taking it to them. And now, into
Mahomes is that good that he hit these flaws that Reed were still there? No,
to them.
no, Mahomes was... Reed was calling the game well with Mahomes before, but... He trusts him too much here for no
And
reason.
now you're really going to the for no reason. For no reason. Let's think about this. Let's actually think about this for a second. You should not be throwing the ball, but you have not thrown the ball well at all today when you've been pressured on most plays because the Texans possess the best 1-2 punch on the defensive line in Will Anderson and Daniel Hunter, and when you're on the defensive line in Will Anderson and Daniel line.
Like, I didn't know if I would still be able to
Line-
hear, like, the clicks on it, but yeah, I can.
Line in Will Anderson and Daniel Hunter, and when your quarterback on his last 5 passes, including a few on this drive, mind you, is 0 for 5 and has also thrown a pair of interceptions on the day. This is a low percentage play to pick up 1 singular yard. Throwing is not wise here. However, I'll tickle my tonsils and entertain this. I will do that for you, Andy Reid. I will tickle my tonsils just for you and just go with this. Let's say you get the first down here.
50 to try and roast a good decision on just on a stream? Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah. I can.
Let's say you get the
I
first
can do that
down.
in case
Like some act of God, you get the first down. Congratulations. You still need to go about 30 yards
Yeah,
to
why
get to
not?
field goal range. So even if you get this, you need to go a long way to take the range.
Why not?
So even if you get this, you need to go a long way to take.
Yeah, no one's ever asked me that before, but yeah,
Meanwhile,
that
if
sounds
you
about
go
right,
with this
yeah.
Low percentage play against the literal number
I'll
one
do that in
defense
case
in
I-
football and a defense that has been on your butts the entire night. You're literally getting the Texans the ball in field goal range without
Roast
them
a
having
good
to do
decision?
anything. So long as the Texans don't lose 7 or 8 yards,
Yeah.
you allow Fairbairn, one of the
We
best
can make
players
it
in
work.
football, and a man with a pretty strong leg, to kick something well within his range. This is Luigi winning by doing nothing. This is very similar to the Cowboys-Eagles debacle in 1995. To the Cowboys-Eagles debacle in 1995, which you learn more about by clicking the card in the upper right corner.
Right, Shedeur got you down the field. I don't know why you wouldn't, trust him after that. call a play that
Corner.
never a
Why
shot.
give your opponent
Yeah,
seven
cut off.
possession,
And
but
the other
only
thing too,
one
cut off
timeout,
half
and
the
they can't
field.
do anything
I love it.
themselves. This
Cut off
decision
half the
completely went
field.
against the flow of the game, and it cost the Chiefs big time here. And then, if that
Yeah,
wasn't
feed the
enough,
hot hand,
Andy
literally.
Reid decided to do it again.
Literally. Feed the hot hand. Also, don't cut off half the field if you don't have to. And he did just that, and it's just baffling. Stefanski's a dead man walking. And yeah, it's not good. At this point, you gotta. Obviously, the rest of the season is about seeing if you have anything in Shador, and if you get the #1 pick, what do you do? Because obviously, just a disaster of an ending. And this one in the Browns defense, dude. Well, that made it the Titans. We just played the Titans. Their offense does nothing. The fact that Tony Pollard's the one that's crushing
He
him.
decided to do it again.
This is so much quicker, man.
Do it again.
He was gonna make devastation in the Monday night game versus the Bucks a couple years ago. Bulls called him out for him. Yes. Wait, no, I get call. Right, I get that. The play call was not good. Yeah, again, I don't hate the decision to go for 2. That's not the issue. The decision to go for 2 is fine. The problem was the play call.
Mahomes stepping up, going middle, race, drop it.
That was the issue.
Yeah.
Wants to run. Fourth.
Yeah. It went out as well as you expect. Again, the Texans had done nothing offensively all half, and basically all day since the touchdown drive that put them ahead 10-0. They were averaging about a yard per play, if not less than that. They showed yard per
I'm not sure what speed this is. Probably like 150%. But this saves so much time. Oh my goodness.
yard per play, if not less than that. They show no signs of life, and you rejuvenated them for no reason. And by failing on this 4th down, which was a longer distance, and you still had plenty of time, and all your timeouts, well, actually, 2 timeouts because you burned one to talk about that play for some reason. You gave the Texans all your timeouts. Well, actually, 2 timeouts because you burned one to talk about that play. About that play for some reason, you gave the Texans the ball in field goal range.
You still do
It's a
that,
two-score
Casey.
game.
I
You
will
moved the
do
ball
that.
Offensively, and they actually went backwards, so you actually kept it at a 1-score game. But still, it was stupid. This felt like a complete and utter panic move. There's no other way to say it. This was a panic move from a normally composed coach. Hence why the Chiefs. From a normally composed coach, hence why the Chiefs won the Super Bowl all those years ago, despite trailing by double digits in all 3 of their playoff games. And from a coach that is easily bound for the Hall of Fame on the first ballot, he panicked.
Yeah, I think
He panicked. And
I think they're gonna
why he
clean
decided to do
house.
it, because you know
I
he
think
asked about it during the
The
postgame
Browns
press
are definitely cleaning house. Maybe not defensively, but I think at least on the offensive side, they're going to
about
be
it.
cleaning house.
during the post-game press conference.
Because I got a new coach in there, and he'll get to pick his quarterback. Problem is that if Shadur's the guy, that's awesome. But also, you're going to need to have a coach that wants to be with Shador. Versus if he's not the guy, yeah, it sucks that he's not the guy, but at the very least, you can have a clean slate. And the coach is not tied to a quarterback. So it's a weird situation in Cleveland. It's a weird vacancy. Okay, my mouse is like acting really weird right now. It's like jamming a few times. Sometimes that works. I don't know what. Oh, yep. So like, if you hear like loud jamming here, I'm just, for whatever reason, sometimes this works. I just like slam on it to get to, yep, there we go. Get back. It's like it loses signal and then you jam it and then it gets the signal again. I don't know why.
Press conference.
I wish I could just wire the mic too. I wish I like that I could just have an option to like plug it into the computer.
Yeah, well,
Well, especially because I don't know why one goes as best, the other one doesn't. It didn't go through. Yeah, whatever you said did not go through. You know, I'm not. Yeah, I didn't.
At least he's holding himself accountable.
Last one I saw was $50 to try and roast a good decision, not on vid, but on
No crap,
stream.
you thought it would work. I'd hope you think it would work. I'd hate to have a coach who called stuff that he knew wouldn't work. If he didn't think it would have worked, no exaggeration. If he didn't think it would have worked, no exaggeration, you fire him on the spot. I'd hate to have to play for a guy and put my body on the line for. Hate to have to play. To have to play for a guy and put my body on the line for a guy who's just winging it and is unsure whether things will work. Either way, whether you thought it was going to work or didn't think it was going to work, the bottom line is that in this results-based industry, it didn't work. It didn't even come close. Needing 1 yard instead of running the ball, you called the pass when the last 5 were unsuccessful. And you called this low percentage play in a tie game, deep in your own territory, where the opponent would get the ball in field goal range to take the lead in the absolute best-case scenario on a night where the opponent hadn't been able to move the ball at all this entire half. When you break it down like that, this truly
So
is one of
live
the
with the
decisions of
aggressive
entire
wait.
season. And if this is how the Chiefs dynasty ends, and if this is truly how their season ends, barring a miracle, it ends with Andy Reid,
Yes,
the number one
okay.
coach, and one of the greatest to ever do it, panicking out of nowhere.
So
This was a panic move. This was a losing move, and this was potentially a dynasty-ending move.
I'll get to that in
So
just
what
a
do you learn from all
second.
this?
That's a good
If your
question.
defense is stuffing the opposing team on every drive, and you're
'Cause
winning
that
as
is
a
true.
result of it, then don't put your defense in a spot where they're
That
playing
is
behind
true.
the ball with no wiggle room and with a deficit all but guaranteed. If you need 1 yard, then call all but guaranteed.
I'll get to that in just a second.
All but guaranteed.
So that's a very good point.
All but guaranteed. If you need 1 yard, then calling a low percentage play that goes against the flow of the game and does not play to your strengths is not the best idea, especially when just falling forward is always an option. If the risk of a play greatly outweighs the reward, and if you decide you're going to trust an offense that's been struggling and can't move the ball
Just
down the
waiting
field,
for this
while also
video
not
to
trusting a defense
finish, and
that's
then
been
we'll do
dominating
that.
and allowing less than a yard per play over the course of an entire half, and has allowed 0.2 first downs per drive to start off the half, then you need to reevaluate your priorities. And if you're desperate in a tie game with 10 minutes to go, then you need to rethink everything about how you coach a game. This might be the end of an era, because when all these elements are in play, you can't exactly be
Give me a second. Then we'll be able to answer it.
in play. You can't exactly be surprised when this play backfires. Talk about a dumb decision.
Perfect. Yeah, that L key shortcut really works. Okay. So, here's the thing. In a vacuum, going for on 4th and 1, don't hate it. Going for on 4th and 1 is not the issue. Here's the issue. There's actually many issues. Number 1, you're at your own 31-yard line. If you don't get the first, the Texans are starting in field goal range. The game is tied right now. If you get the first, you have to go still another 30 yards to get into range. You don't get it. Well, now the Texans have it, not even have to get any yards, and they're okay. Number 2, your defense was playing lights out. So I don't know how much of the game you watched, or if you went to bed early or not. The Texans were not moving the ball. They had 5 drives in the second half, and they got 1 first down. They were averaging less than a yard per play. And you were stopping them. This was not a shootout. The Texans could not move the ball. You punt the ball away, they're not getting into field goal range at all. And also the play call itself. You threw the ball, Mahomes was 0 for his last 5. That also doesn't help. If they run the ball, okay, maybe a different story. But just didn't fit the flow of the game in the slightest bit. And it backfired. How is it going, Walter? Appreciate you tuning in. We're about to sign off in just a second here. Just trying to get all the... Oh, man. As we are near the end of the ending stream. How many low scoring defense struggles on lines? Not many. That's the other thing, too. And also, Reed is inconsistent with this logic. Like, Campbell's consistent. Reed had some short yard chances and did not go for it earlier. Mentioned that bit? Yes, I did, yes. Yes, I mentioned that in the bit. And you will see the vid in about 30 minutes. The aggression thing? Yep. You'll see in about 30 minutes. When it comes out. Because at this point, the video is exporting. So everything is good. There's a pizza. 3 hours for a pizza? Oh, that's awful. I can't wait that long. Someone says pizza? I need the next hour. I need a pizza in the next hour. Someone brings up pizza. Alright, so now the vid's updating. Or exporting, I should say. Oh, yeah. Oh, the pizza one. Yes. Oh, yeah. No, that was crazy. I thought it meant you have to wait 3 hours to get pizza for the, like, the rehearsal. Or, well, I'll give you pizza in 3 hours. I was like, yeah. No, I would not wait that long. It's not worth it. But, yeah, they do not have a contingency in. And the best part is that they never got, like, a sack after that game. They got, like, maybe, like, 1 sack afterwards. So, I just want to see if they got, like, 12 sacks in that game. If they give away free, like, if they would give you money with the pizza. That'd be amazing. So the problem, usually going for on 4, they have a good quarterback. Mahomes is a good quarterback, and you know he's going to suck. Well, he was 0 for his last 5. Again, it's not on a... Well, so I assume pretty much, yeah, it's been going on for a while. And just based on the flow of the game. Like, you can be a bad quarterback but have a really good game, and you can be a good quarterback and have a really bad game. It's based on the flow. And Mahomes was not good. Obviously, he's a great quarterback, but he was not good on this day. He was 0 for his last 5. I'm not throwing the ball in that spot. If you're going for it, I'm not throwing the ball. You have Kareem Hunt for a reason. Hang on. How long is it on export? It just finished exporting. The worst kick ever used Talty? Yes. Oh, he's so bad. Holmes wasn't playing well, the receivers were not helping either. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was a little bit column A, a little bit column B, but that's also more evidence as to why you shouldn't have gone for there in that spot. Alright, so at this point, the video exports. And now it's up to YouTube. So, that's where it's at right now. Monetization on. Make sure. Obviously, there's no material. Oh, yeah, at this point, everything just back-end stuff. So, the vid's done. It should be on the next 20, 25 minutes. So, we're going to sign off here. I appreciate you guys a ton. Again, this was only possible because you guys donated a ton of money on the last stream, and I can't thank you guys enough for that. So, here's the game plan. We're going to be live for, we're live for Q&A overtime stream tomorrow, or I guess later today, at 5:30 Eastern time. So what is that, 11 hours from now? We're live for that. And then we'll be live for the Eagles-Chargers game at 8 o'clock. I appreciate you guys a ton. JG9 signing off. I will see you guys later tonight. Enjoy the video dropping in about 30 minutes time. I'll see you guys soon.